Chapter 556. Trading with Heavenly Beast. This elite team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. Everyone is in the early stage spirit martial realm. Jianmeng obviously sensed this aura and left in a hurry. It's Jianmeng. The people of Jian family are all incredible. A middle-aged man coldly snorted. Sooner or later, we will destroy them. Not only Jianmeng, but also that Yun Darren. Another young man said, just now in the air, I only saw Jianmeng and Mingjiang leave. That Yun Darren is still here. No matter. Let's catch up with the purple gold Qilin first. Mingjiang got a heavenly fire python. We can't fall behind. The middle-aged captain said, if there's a chance, we must capture Mingjiang and that Yun Darren. Mingjiang has a lot of heavenly beast bones in his hands. That Yun Darren offended Lu Chongsheng. We can give it to Lu Chongsheng. After Qin Yin heard it, he felt angry and funny at the same time. The team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, followed the aura of the purple gold Qilin and chased after it. When they chased after it, they did not forget to be vigilant in all directions. They were all flying in the air, looking behind them from time to time or on the ground. However, they could not find Qin Yin behind them. Qin Yin just heard that this group of people wanted to deal with him and wanted to capture him and give him to Lu Chongsheng. He can't tolerate this kind of thing. Want to catch me? Then don't blame me. Qin Yin was secretly angry in his heart and carefully followed. The purple gold Qilin fought with the heavenly fire python and then was attacked by Mingjiang. It seems that it was also hit by a Dao talisman, and the injuries on its body are not light. When it escaped, it left behind a lot of residual aura. Originally, there were many traces of trees being burned along the way. But later, those traces suddenly disappeared. The team of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, also quickly swooped down from the air. Did it fly away? Impossible. There is no aura of the purple gold Qilin in the air. Then there's only one possibility. It turned into a human form. It is said that some powerful heavenly beasts can turn into humans when they are born. Split up and search. The captain said, we have a total of 10 people divided into 5 teams. Don't go alone. If you encounter any attacks, use sound transmission talisman to send us a sound transmission talisman and let us know your location. After the captain finished speaking, he quickly divided into 5 small teams and expanded their search. Qin Yun carefully floated in the forest. He had also heard the captain's words and secretly admired this team. Not only were they well prepared, they were also very cautious. In this kind of jungle, it was indeed dangerous to move alone. If you were ambushed by something, you wouldn't even know if you died. If there were 2 of them, even if they were ambushed, they wouldn't be killed so easily. They could still send out a signal or something. Qin Yin chose 2 people and very carefully followed them. In his heart, he was also thinking about how to quickly kill those 2 people. After following them for more than an hour, he came up with a plan. It was to first use a few body securing talismans to freeze the 2 people and then control the flying dagger to attack. After the flying daggers shot out, he used the 9-Sun Divine Hammer to quickly kill them, not giving them a chance to send out their signal talismans. However, Qin Yin was conflicted over a problem. If these 2 people's armor could withstand the body securing talisman, then they would have failed. One must know that a spirit martial realm martial master's reaction was very fast. Should I use the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron to instantly suck them in? Just as Qin Yin was pondering over the plan, suddenly a red shadow flew out. The speed of the red shadow is very fast, like a ghost. Before Qin Yin could clearly see what it is, a spirit martial realm martial master's body was cut into several pieces. Junior brother Wang. Not far away, a middle-aged man suddenly shouted and quickly threw out a signal talisman. The signal released is very strong, and a violent sound exploded in the air. The nearby disciples of the Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, all rushed over. Qin Yin secretly cursed the red shadow in his heart for ruining his plans. Because he had a better sneak attack plan, this would ensure that he could kill 2 people without being discovered. He didn't know where the red shadow ran to, but he couldn't just run away like this. After throwing out the signal talisman, Qin Yun controlled the flying daggers to fly over. A few flying daggers silently pierced into the middle-aged man's body. It has to be said that the middle-aged man's armor is very strong. Qin Yun's flying daggers can only penetrate halfway, barely able to injure the middle-aged man. Explode. Qin Yun is also depressed in his heart. These disciples of immortal sex are not as easy to sneak attack as he imagined. He can only quickly control a flying dagger to explode the middle-aged man, so that he can succeed and leave no trace. Grandson of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, you want to catch me and hand me over to Lu Chongsheng? No way. Qin Yun also quickly hid. The first to arrive is the captain. He saw his team members die, and he is very angry. The other team members were secretly frightened in their hearts. The reason for that was because the two disciples who had died were pretty strong. In such a short period of time, they were killed by a sneak attack. Qin Yun is also secretly on guard against the Red Shadow. He doesn't know what it is because the speed is too fast to see clearly. And the strength is certainly not weak. Otherwise, it would be impossible to split the body of the disciple in an instant. The middle-aged captain frowned, looked in one direction, and said, "Over there." The guy just exposed his aura. Qin Yun did not sense any aura. "Go." The middle-aged captain shouted coldly and quickly chased. Qin Yun can't help but wonder if this captain is a dog. His nose is actually so sharp. Ku Mingjiang is the same. He was the first to find the purple gold qilin. This made Qin Yun more cautious, keeping a distance of several kilometers and following the team. After the captain passed, he let the other 7 team members take out a big flag. Flag array? Qin Yun looked at the flags of different colors and was secretly surprised. The 7 team members waved the flag and suddenly released a special power. A light shield suddenly fell and covered a large area in front of them. After the light shield covered, a strong flame aura erupted in the area. It is the aura of the purple gold qilin. This beast can really turn into a human. The captain laughed. "We got it." He spread a black net and shrouded the front. The big net slowly tightened, and soon a red figure appeared. It is an old woman wearing fiery red armor. A living purple gold qilin, and it can also turn into a human form. The captain is very excited. The heavenly beast caught by our Azure Flame Immortal Mountain is much more powerful than the heavenly fire python of Immortal Weapon City. Qin Yun sighed his heart. I have no chance to destroy this team. I can only be on guard against them in the future. The team of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain is indeed very strong, and they have many powerful Xian tools and Dao tools. It is difficult for him to deal with them alone. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly saw a white light flying over. It's the little deer. Little thing, what are you doing here? Hurry up. It's very dangerous here. Qin Yun quickly released his mental force and locked on the little deer. Good man, you help Grandma Qilin. If you save her, we will give you a reward. The delicate voice of the little deer pleaded. This is not easy to save. Those guys are too strong. Qin Yun responded quickly and was surprised that this little deer actually knew the qilin. You can summon the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion, as long as you disturb them and distract their attention. Then go over and find a way to break the net. The little deer said, then Grandma Qilin can escape. If you run away, how can you give me a reward? Qin Yun secretly curled his lips and said, also, why should I believe you? Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain has been getting less and less medicinal herbs over the years. The few Xian medicines have been collected by me. If you're willing to save Grandma Qilin, I am willing to give you some. The little deer said. Its antlers flashed slightly, and a fruit appeared. When Qin Yun saw the fruit, he knew that it was a Xian fruit, a Xian-level medicinal herb. This is for you. You eat it, the little deer said. Qin Yun walked over, took the fruit, and took a bite. It is indeed a Xian fruit. He suddenly felt that if this little deer has the medicinal herbs to refine the Bone Spirit Xian pill, then he will step into the spirit martial realm soon. Well, I will believe you this time. Qin Yun is ready to fight for those Xian medicines. As long as he does not expose his face, it will be fine. Good man, if you succeed, I can find you too, the little deer said. You can rest assured about this. Qin Yun chewed the sweet Xian fruit, thinking of getting a batch of Xian medicines. His heart is also secretly excited. Many Xian medicines are controlled by immortal sects. Even if there's a large number of purple crystal coins, it is difficult to buy. Well, I will give a try. If it doesn't succeed, don't blame me. After all, my strength is limited. Qin Yun immediately thought of a plan. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, after catching the purple gold Qilin, also surrounded and watched. I thought it was a young Qilin. I didn't expect it to be this old guy. The middle-aged captain looked disgusted and then took out a big beast bag, ready to put the Qilin grandmother inside. Suddenly, the earth shook violently. There was an earthquake, and it was a very strong earthquake. The earth undulated up and down, and many cracks appeared. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain also fiercely floated in the air. They just arrived in the air. Qin Yun continued to use the earthquake divine ability, covering the air with the power of vibration. Moreover, the earth also spewed out a shockwave, hitting the 8 people in the air. Qilin grandmother is still in the same place, covered by a big net. Qin Yun saw that the opportunity has come and quickly rushed over. Don't even think about succeeding. The captain was shaken in the air and felt uncomfortable and some pain, but he could sense that there is an aura approaching. He hurriedly took out a large cage. Chapter 557. 9 Extinction Primordial Force. After Qin Yun was covered by a cage, he cursed in his heart. He did not expect the other party to have this skill. How can the Dao tools in the hands of these bastards be so powerful? Are they all sacrificial refined? He attacked the cage with all his might, but it was useless. Are you also a Qilin beast? The captain came over and laughed. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain all gathered around. They all felt a very terrible shock power just now, so they did not think that it was the power that a human should have. Qin Yun wore a mask and black clothes, so he was not recognized. It seems that I can only use the mysterious penetration divine ability. Qin Yun quickly came to the side of the Qilin old grandma and took off the net on her. He wanted to use the mysterious penetration divine ability to leave, but found that it was blocked. His mysterious penetration divine ability could not penetrate this cage. Great, are you going to pass through this cage? The captain was slightly surprised and then laughed. Ha ha, this cage is specially made to prevent heavenly beasts from using the power of divine ability. You can't use the power of divine ability just now. With that, the captain controlled the cage and shot out a violent thunder. Boom, boom, boom. Several thunder and lightning hit Qin Yun's body and opened his mask. Fortunately, he only opened the mask. The beard on his face is still there. It's you? Yin Darren. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were surprised. Qin Yun said coldly, "Originally, it was our Captain Ke who first encountered this Qilin beast, but you suddenly intervened and shot out a talisman tool. You bunch of despicable guys. That talisman tool was shot out by me. Ha, so what? Since it was discovered by you, then don't think about living." The captain laughed and said, "I didn't expect that you really have guts. Dare to rob things from Gu Qingfeng's hand. This Gu Qingfeng looks relatively young, but he is relatively old." Qin Yun guessed that Gu Qingfeng specially spent a long time to sacrificial refine those Dao tools, so he can use them so smoothly. He even believes that the major immortal sects have arranged for their disciples to sacrificial refine Dao tools long ago, in order to prepare to enter the heavenly beast desolate domain to catch heavenly beasts. Kuming Jiang should be injured badly, right? He can't even protect himself, let alone you. Gu Qingfeng proudly smiled and said, "You this guy, beating Lu Chongsheng is so enjoyable, he must hate you. Take a guess, if I were to sell you to him, what kind of price would he give? Don't even think about succeeding." Qin Yun suddenly took out his weapon and crazily hacked at the cage. The cage had a very strong barrier. Under the protection of this very strong barrier, Qin Yun could not even release the flying knives. You actually have a storage Dharma treasure. You hit it really well. Tell me, did you get something good in that big house? Gu Qingfeng's face suddenly became full of greed. I didn't get anything. Qin Yun has encountered a thorny problem. Next, he could only try using the nine-sun divine hammer. Gu Chengfeng shouted, "You don't want to say it? Let's see how stubborn you can be." As he spoke, he suddenly took out a spear and stabbed it into the cage, piercing Qin Yun's body. "It's a Dao tool." Qin Yun looked at the Dao runes on the spear and shouted in a low voice. His powerful heavenly lion Xian body could not resist the sharp Dao tool piercing at this time. This cage is also very special. It can't be pierced from the inside, but it can be pierced from the outside. Good eyesight. Worthy of being the guy who can make Lu Chongsheng eat a big loss. Gu Chengfeng smiled a few times. "Next, I will let you taste the most terrible." ZZ. A thunder and lightning power suddenly rushed out from Gu Chengfeng's arm, and purple gold electric threads poured into Qin Yun's body from a spear. The violent purple gold thunder and lightning power in Qin Yun's body made Qin Yun twitch. "I clearly have the black thunder and fire martial spirit, but I am still so painful. This guy is really terrible." Although Qin Yun shouted, he can still hold on. He could still endure this kind of pain. This only makes him feel very painful, and it can't cause him any harm. Gu Chengfeng also felt surprised because if it was an ordinary 9th-level martial Dao realm cultivator, they would have already fainted from the electric shock, but Qin Yun can shout and look energetic. When Gu Chengfeng destroyed Qin Yun, he also took out a sound transmission conch and sent a sound transmission to Lu Chongsheng. He just asked him to come over and said that he wanted to make a deal and did not say anything else. Qin Yun is constantly being electrocuted, and he can't use the power in his body. Even if he takes out the 9-sun divine hammer, he is powerless to use it. "This can't go on, I will be destroyed." Qin Yun is also trying to find a way because he is trapped in this strange cage. He can't use his magical power to summon the heavenly lion. If he releases the bone dragon puppet, it will not be able to break through this cage. He needed a spacious place to release the bone dragon. "Yundarin, tell me, what did you get from that big house?" Gu Chengfeng believes that Qin Yun got a good thing because he now found that this Yundarin is very cunning. "Captain, this guy just released a strong vibration power. Did he get a good Dao tool?" A middle-aged man asked. "Impossible. My Dao tool has been refined for a long time to be able to be used smoothly." Gu Chengfeng quickly shook his head. "When the heavenly beast desolate domain is closed, I have to return those Dao tools. This guy's endurance is very strong," a young man said and took out a long sword, which is a Xian tool. He stabbed his long sword and wanted to stab Qin Yun a few times, but found that he could not stab through. "This guy has a Dao tool armor on his body." The young man was shocked because his Xian tool could not pierce through. "My spear easily pierced his body. He does not have a Dao tool." Gu Chengfeng is very sure. Although Qin Yun is being tortured, his heavenly lion Xian body is still very strong. It is difficult to pierce his body with a Xian tool that is not completely refined. Just as Qin Yun was thinking about a way, he suddenly saw a silver-white shadow flying over. The little deer appeared. The speed of the little deer is very fast. After flying over, it hit Gu Chengfeng's body with its antlers. The armor on Gu Chengfeng's body is only a Xian tool treasure armor. The defense is slightly lacking, causing him to be directly hit and break his waist, making a cracking sound. This little thing is a heavenly beast cub. "Take her." Gu Chengfeng turned his head and shouted in anger. "Lu Chongsheng has seen this little thing before. Grab it." The little deer hurriedly ran away, but it was caught in an instant. The little deer in the net kept struggling and looked very pitiful. "Little bastard, you dare to break my waist." Gu Chengfeng said angrily. "Throw her over." The team members hurriedly brought the little deer over. Gu Chengfeng supported his broken waist, stepped on the head of the little deer, took out a whip and madly whipped it. After the Qilin grandmother saw the little deer, she was very sad and kept screaming in anger. Her body overflowed with a burst of purple gold flame. "Bastard, let her go." Qilin grandmother roared. "I won't let go. What can you do?" "Ha ha ha." Gu Chengfeng laughed fiercely. The little deer kept screaming, looked at Qin Yun in despair, and sent a voice transmission to Qin Yun. "Good man, I am sorry. I hurt you. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have caught it." Qin Yun's heart was very sad. His originally numb and painful body was suddenly rushed by a surge of anger. Gu Chengfeng kicked the little deer and gave Qin Yun a chance to breathe. He quickly broke free from the spear that pierced his body and took out the nine-sun divine hammer. Qin Yun hammered the spear and directly broke the Tao runes on it. After Gu Chengfeng heard a loud bang, he looked at Qin Yun fiercely. Qin Yun has already waved the nine-sun divine hammer and hit the cage a few times. The cage is a Tao tool level, but it was hit by the nine-sun divine hammer a few times. The Tao runes on it were also damaged, and the entire cage was damaged. Qilin grandmother, quickly take the little deer away. Qin Yun quickly shouted, and then summoned two nether realm heavenly lions. Gu Qingfeng and others were shocked when they saw two nether realm heavenly lions suddenly appear. They did not expect that these two black lions were actually summoned by people. Because Lu Chongsheng had encountered these two nether realm heavenly lions before, he also told others, "You, who the hell are you?" Gu Qingfeng was furious and wanted to kill the little deer. However, Qilin grandmother fiercely broke the cage and blasted Gu Chengfeng to the distance. Two black lions appeared and quickly entered the battle, fighting fiercely with several other team members. Gu Qingfeng was hit by Qilin. He was angry and quickly rushed to Qin Yun. "You bastards, you tortured me so painfully." Qin Yun, who was furious, held the nine-sun divine hammer and hit Gu Chengfeng. Six-style forging dragon was continuously displayed through the nine-sun divine hammer. The power is monstrous. A few hammers fell, as if the sky collapsed and the earth collapsed. Thunder roared and thunder surged. Endless primordial Tao power was like a raging storm as it continuously charged forward. The most powerful place of a nine-sun divine hammer is that it can turn Qin Yun's most ordinary Tao power into the strongest primordial Tao power. It allowed him to unleash the strongest form of power with a minimal consumption of energy. After he used the nine-extinction Tao power, the nine-extinction primordial power is even more terrifying. It is as if the monstrous power of life and death, one after another pressure. Gu Qingfeng's broken spear was hit a few times and was broken into several pieces. As for Gu Qingfeng, he was being attacked by the stacked nine-extinction primordial force wave after wave. At first, only the clothes on his body were broken, then the Xian armor, and then the flesh on his body was torn. After Qin Yun hit more than 10 times, Gu Chengfeng turned into a bloody man, lying on the ground and unable to move. "Captain, let's run and report this to the higher-ups." A middle-aged man was also frightened and quickly flew into the sky. After Qin Yun saw it, he released the bone dragon. Chapter 558. By Xiaolu, the two nether realm heavenly lions were even more terrifying. Heavenly Lion's Heavenly Roar and Heavenly Lion's Fighting Dragon Claw were used alternately and killed two middle-aged men. Qin Yun held the nine-sun divine hammer and chased after the fleeing middle-aged men. He swung his hammer from afar, and the shockwave from the smash was like a wave, directly smashing the person to the ground. The moment he was knocked over, Qin Yun rushed over and killed him with a hammer strike. Now, there are still 3 middle-aged spirit martial realm cultivators. They are entangled by 2 nether realm heavenly lions and bone dragon puppets. They can't get away at all. After Qin Yun arrived, he used the nine-sun divine hammer and killed it in 2 or 3 strikes. Boom, boom, boom. Following a series of explosions that shook the sky, the main sect disciples of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were also killed by Qin Yun. Qin Yun removed their martial spirits and threw their corpses into the heavenly lion dragon suppression cauldron to burn. What surprised him was that Gu Chengfeng actually has dual martial spirits, Thunder Martial Spirit and Fire Martial Spirit, both Purple Gold Martial Spirit. The others all had Purple Gold Fire Martial Spirit. Gu Chengfeng had 2 storage spirit tools. One was given by the sect, and the other was his own. The one given by the sect didn't have a blood pact. Therefore, Qin Yun could directly take out the things inside. There was a total of more than 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. There should be something in Gu Qingfeng's storage bag, but Qin Yun could not get it and could only give up regretfully. Grandma Qilin looked at the young man and was shocked, especially when she felt the aura of heavenly lion Xian body from Qin Yun. She thought that Qin Yun was a heavenly lion. Qin Yun let the nether realm heavenly lion return and put away the bone dragon puppet. He took out a light patterned spirit talisman and pasted it on Grandma Qilin. This can help you heal. Quickly take me to a safe place, Qin Yun said. Although he destroyed Gu Qingfeng's squad, he also consumed a lot of energy. If another equally powerful team appeared, he wouldn't be able to handle it. Although Grandma Qilin does not like human beings, she has to admit that she and the little deer were saved by Qin Yun. Now, she could only trust Qin Yun and bring him away from this place. Even though the Qilin heavenly beast was injured, it could still escape quickly. She carried the little deer and brought Qin Yun with her. She did not speak along the way as they left the intense battlefield. In her mind, she couldn't help but recall the two nether realm heavenly lions. Just half an hour after Qin Yun and others left, Lu Chongsheng arrived. Lu Chongsheng led his team and looked at the mess here and then sensed the aura here. He frowned and said, "There is the aura of the two black heavenly lions. Could it be that Brother Gu met the heavenly lion and sent me a sound transmission? There was an intense battle here. I wonder what happened to them." A member of the team said, "Let's look around." Lu Chongsheng became very alert. After searching for a while, they didn't find any other clues, but they did find the minced meat of a corpse. It was smashed into pieces by a very large object with an extremely strong impact. A middle-aged man looked at the dismembered corpses with a horrified expression. It looks like the claws of a giant beast. There are still many heavenly beasts in the heavenly beast desolate domain. The elders said that there are not many heavenly beasts here, and they are not strong. Lu Chongsheng snorted and said, "Gu Qingfeng may have been annihilated. Are they not strong? The heavenly beasts here are really not terrible." The purple gold Qilin was caught. Kumingjiang also caught a huge heavenly fire python. Qin Yun followed Grandma Qilin, and after running for a few hours, he slowed down until it was dark. Then he followed the silent old granny into a hole in the ground and went very deep underground. There's a very clean underground room. Grandma Qilin put the injured little deer on a small bed full of flowers. After the little deer overflowed with silver and white clouds, it gradually turned into a human form. Qin Yun was a little surprised. This is the first time he saw a heavenly beast turn into a human. After the white light on the little deer disappeared, he saw a girl in white with a haggard face lying on the flower bed. The girl is 16 or 17 years old and is close to maturity, but there is a hint of immaturity. Lying on the flower bed, her face gradually regained its ruddy color. This young girl had the appearance of a fairy. Her skin was like jade, and her eyebrows were picturesque. She was quiet and pleasant. She was using a pair of watery eyes to size up Qin Yun with shyness and curiosity. "I saved your Grandma Qilin. You said you would give me some Xian medicine. Now fulfill your promise," Qin Yun said. After Grandma Qilin heard it, she frowned. "Xiaolu, is this true?" The girl nodded, looked at Qin Yun, and said, "I am by Xiaolu. Thank you for your help. I promised you things. I will definitely do it." "Grandma, he just saved you. He also took a lot of risks and suffered a lot of torture. You just saw it." Bai Xiaolu slowly walked out of bed, took the arm of Grandma Qilin, and whispered, Okay. Grandma Qilin sighed. This Grandma Qilin does not like humans, but now she has to thank Qin Yun and said, "Thank you, young man. You are welcome. I also saw that there is a reward to help." Qin Yun smiled. "This young master, I will take you to get the Xian medicine now," Bai Xiaolu said, and pushed open a door of the underground room. Qin Yun followed him and came to another relatively spacious underground stone room. There were some drafts scattered here and there, as well as a fruit tree. These are all Xian medicine. Bai Xiaolu looked at the flowers and plants with love. There are night lotus and moon spirit rose, and there are many. Qin Yun looked at it and saw the Xian medicine he wanted. There are 10 of them. This can cultivate Bone's spirit. Bai Xiaolu whispered. I want 8 of each, can I? Qin Yin said. He urgently needs to use it for alchemy. Bai Xiaolu nodded, then carefully picked it for Qin Yin. Qin Yin took out a jade box to store. There are also some other Xian medicine. Qin Yin recognized a few of the more useful ones and asked for one. Enough. I am not the kind of person who is particularly greedy. Qin Yin smiled with great satisfaction. Heavenly Beast, Desolate Domain. Immortal energy is getting thinner, and Xian medicine is getting less and less. This place is no longer suitable for us. Grandma Qilin sighed. But we don't have the strength to go out. We can only rely on these Xian medicine to grow. Bai Xiaolu nodded and whispered. This young master, I thought you would take all the Xian medicine here. Thank you for your mercy. You want to leave here? I can show you the way. The premise is that you have to trust me. Qin Yin suddenly thought of an idea and said, You want to take us out? Grandma Qilin frowned. You seem to have a big enemy. Can this work? You believe me, then there is no problem. Qin Yin smiled. What's your name? We don't know your name. Bai Xiaolu asked in a low voice. She was also a little shy when asking other people's names. Qin Yin. Qin Yin smiled slightly. Young Master Qin, did you enter the Heavenly Lion Immortal Mansion? Grandma Qilin asked very curiously. Yes. Qin Yin nodded. That is the mansion built by the Heavenly Lion Old Ancestor. He killed many evil heavenly beasts to make this place peaceful, so that everyone can grow up. Grandma Qilin said with some sadness. But since he left here, everything has changed. So are you willing to believe me? I will let you go to Spirit Desolate. There's also a place to go. Qin Yin said. Go to Spirit Desolate? Grandma Qilin said with some worry. How is the situation there? It's still calm. Qin Yin said. Bai Xiaolu said. After we heavenly beasts cultivate to immortal, we leave here and go to the immortal road of Spirit Desolate and enter the immortal Desolate. But it takes a long time, especially now. There is no immortal energy here. It is more difficult to cultivate. It turned out to be like this. Qin Yin said, after going to Spirit Desolate, the situation should be better. Grandma Qilin and Bai Xiaolu also trusted Qin Yin. Bai Xiaolu's bee soul is very special. It can open up a special space and put those Xian medicines into her space. Qin Yin took out the Fox Immortal token and began to look for the disciples of Demon Moon Island. Young Master Qin, the 2 beautiful human sisters I met last time, do you know them? Are they all right? Bai Xiaolu asked with some worry. She met Feng Honglan last time and suddenly had a very close feeling with Feng Honglan. Qin Yin just saw that she likes flowers very much, so he can understand. Because Feng Honglan's martial spirit is Red Orchid martial spirit. Yes, she's very good now. I just intend to let you be with her. Qin Yin said, they're going to enter a new sect. There are also many demon beasts and fairies. It is very suitable for you. This made Grandma Qilin look forward to it. Not long after, Qin Yin met with Yao Min, the fat ant. Xiao Yuelan and Tian Ruling are also together. After Qin Yin brought by Xiaolu and Grandma Qilin, he briefly explained the situation. This made Yao Min excited. Qilin is a very powerful heavenly beast. If it joins their Demon Moon Island, it will definitely bring them a strong power. When Feng Honglan saw Bai Xiaolu, she recognized the little deer. Xiao Yun, your Captain Ku, is injured and the Azure Flame Immortal Mountains Gu Chengfeng team was also destroyed. Xiao Yuelan asked here and probably guessed that Qin Yin did it. Well, I'm going back to find my captain. I still have tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones with him. Qin Yin laughed, and after saying goodbye to Xiao Yuelan, he left excitedly. He is now going to the entrance and exit of the heavenly beast Desolate Domain, which is the safest gathering place. Kumingjiang is healing there. The entrance and exit is a large light curtain, and near this light curtain is a large grassland. There are many tents here, which are built by many teams of various sections. There are many injured people, and they are all healing here. They did not go out immediately because they were worried that they could not come back after going out and miss the opportunity to make meritorious service. Therefore, They can only continue to catch heavenly beasts after healing in this safe place. After someone saw Qin Yin coming, he was surprised and whispered, "This bearded man, isn't he in Darren? The man who slapped Lu Chongsheng 3 times. Still a man? After he goes out, he doesn't even know how he died." One person whispered, "Offended Lu Chongsheng. The end is very worrying." Chapter 559. Wave catching Xian Palm as soon as Qin Yin came here. Lu Chongsheng immediately learned and quickly ran out to sea. Not long after, Mingjiang in another tent also came out with Jian Meng and many other disciples. In these days, Lu Chongsheng has been laughed at by many people. This is the most intolerable thing for Lu Chongsheng. If he loses to an opponent of the same level as Mingjiang, his heart may feel much better. However, he had lost to a nobody at the 9th stage of the martial Dao and had even been slapped 3 times. Although the game of slapping was proposed by him first. But the one who suffered a big loss was also himself, so this made him take it to heart. Qin Yin looked at Lu Chongsheng with a calm smile on his face. Mingjiang was injured before and has not recovered. Everyone knows that Mingjiang is injured and his strength is bound to drop. Therefore, some people suspect that Lu Chongsheng may be here to avenge his great hatred. When he was at the gate of the mansion, Qin Yin was protected by Mingjiang, so Lu Chongsheng could not do anything. Now, Mingjiang is seriously injured, and he is definitely not Mingjiang's opponent. Yun Darren, you have been in the limelight these days. There are rumors of your mighty deeds everywhere. Lu Chongsheng put on a fake smile, and his voice contained a murderous aura and coldness. This is all because Lu Gongzi let me win the competition. Qin Yin said with a smile. These words in Lu Chongsheng's ears are so harsh, as if mocking him. Lu Chongsheng, what do you want to do? You can go out from here. There are elders of various sects outside. Mingjiang is also worried that Lu Chongsheng will mess around. You know, Lu Chongsheng is an arrogant and despotic disciple. After suffering such a great humiliation, he will not give up so easily. Lu Chongsheng looked at the light curtain. If he goes out, he will miss his last chance. Because Qin Yin will definitely become an outer sect disciple of Immortal Weapon City, it will be hard for him to make a move. If he didn't get back here, the fact that he had suffered a loss here would become a joke for a very long time. Qin Yin also saw a trace of killing intent and decisiveness in Lu Chongsheng's eyes and quickly became vigilant. Right now, he was wearing a Dao artifact armor, coupled with his powerful heavenly lion Xian body. Even if he was attacked, he would not suffer too much damage. Yin Darren, let's go out together. Mingjiang also saw something wrong and quickly pulled Qin Yin and rushed to the light curtain. Lu Chongsheng suddenly flashed over and stopped Mingjiang and Qin Yin. You are not allowed to go. Lu Chongsheng said coldly. Why do you stop us? Mingjiang's face sank and asked in a cold tone. When this bastard was fighting with me, he used some tricks. I just remembered it now, so I can't let him leave. Lu Chongsheng fiercely took out a sword and pointed it at Qin Yin. He is a 9th level martial Dao realm guy. In arm wrestling, he won against 3 spirit martial realm martial artists. This is simply not in line with common sense. So, he must have used some kind of trick. This is cheating. I want the heavenly beast bones we lost. Lu Chongsheng did not get the heavenly beast bones. They were all from other medicine Immortal Valley disciples. Now that he has lost so much, it has made many disciples dissatisfied, but they dare not say it. If he can't get back those heavenly beast bones, it will also make his prestige in medicine Immortal Valley decline. Lu Chongsheng seems to be sure that the team of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain was destroyed. Although he lost a team of strong partners, he is still fearless because there are other disciples of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain here. Mingjiang was injured, and some of the other teams of Immortal Weapon City did not come back. In this place, the strongest are the people of his medicine Immortal Valley. Mingjiang sneered. Lu Chongsheng, you are really a shameless thing. You said that Yun Darren cheated. You have to come up with evidence. Just with your mouth, we'll believe you. There are 3 people in our Medicine Immortal Valley who have wrestled with him. At that time, because they smelled a fragrance, their whole body was weak. Obviously, he poisoned them. After Lu Chongsheng finished, the other 2 people who had competed with Qin Yun stood up and proved that this is true. They're all your people. You have colluded with each other. This is not convincing at all. Mingjiang sneered. I don't care. In short, we lost in confusion at that time. This must be Yun Daren's doing. Lu Chongsheng said angrily. As long as you return 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones to us, this matter will be over. Otherwise, if we go out and let the elders intervene, Yun Daren, who used poison, will die. Mingjiang laughed. Let's go out. Who is afraid of who? Lu Chongsheng did not let him go out. He still blocked them. Mingjiang, we are all spirit martial realm martial masters. In arm wrestling, we lost to a 9th level martial Dao realm guy. This is not in line with common sense. At that time, I also lost inexplicably, and I was slapped 3 times. My reputation was greatly affected because of this. In order to defend my honor, I basically put my life on the line to get it back. Lu Chongsheng seems to have made a decision to fight. For my reputation, I am willing to fight you to the death. Lu Chongsheng said coldly. Are you going to solve this matter peacefully or use your life to solve it? Let's fight. Qin Yun was not afraid at all. Mingjiang also knows what Lu Chongsheng is planning. If they really fight, regardless of winning or losing, Mingjiang will have a certain loss. If they win, it means that Lu Chongsheng will die. After going out, they will also be held accountable by Medicine Immortal Valley. Even if Immortal Weapon City can protect them, they will definitely be punished when they return to Immortal Weapon City. Even if it is a peaceful solution, it can't be too much. Mingjiang thought about it carefully and chose a more conservative way to solve this matter. Lu Chongsheng's face showed a smile. My request is not too much. Let's do again. 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. This time, we won't play arm wrestling. We will fight directly. The people of Medicine Immortal Valley went back and thought about it carefully. They felt that if they did not play arm wrestling, they would not lose so badly. They are very confident in their own combat effectiveness. Well, which one of you will fight? Mingjiang's injury has not fully recovered, but he still accepted this way to solve the problem. Qin Yun was secretly unhappy because if it was him, he would directly fight with Lu Chongsheng and others. There is no need to be afraid of anything. However, Mingjiang is injured and he has too many scruples. I will fight. Lu Chongsheng smiled proudly. Mingjiang, who will you send out from your side? The onlookers are looking forward to it, because in a while, they will be able to see Lu Chongsheng's battle. Qin Yun feels that he still has hope to win against Lu Chongsheng, provided that Lu Chongsheng does not act shamelessly. I will fight. Mingjiang is much older than Lu Chongsheng and feels that even if he is injured, he could defeat Lu Chongsheng, a young man. Can you use weapons? Qin Yun asked. Of course not. Lu Chongsheng snorted. If you compare weapons, your Immortal Weapon City will definitely have the advantage. Mingjiang said, You don't have to worry, I will definitely win. Qin Yun looked at Jianmeng. He felt that Jianmeng could defeat Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng laughed and said, As expected of Mingjiang, he is confident. Everyone also gave way to a large open space. The nearby tents have also been put away. Qin Yun floated in the air and looked around, looking for the whereabouts of the female disciples of Demon Moon Island, and wanted to see if Xiao Yuelon and the others were here. Those female disciples of Demon Moon Island, the overall strength is still very strong. If they are here, Qin Yun will feel a lot more at ease. Qin Yun looked for a while and did not see Xiao Yuelon and the others. They may have already left. They took the 2 heavenly beasts, Grandma Qilin and Bai Xiaolu, and quickly left to be safe. Start. After Lu Chongsheng shouted, his body quickly floated towards Mingjiang, and a strong purple-gold flame gushed out of his body. What was surprising was that there were actually traces of lines in his flames. That is totem fire. This bastard. He has a fire totem. Ling Yin was slightly surprised. He really has some skills. Maybe his physique is also good. It is very likely to be a fire Xian body. What about Kumingjiang? Qingyun asked. Kumingjiang's martial spirit should be the river martial spirit. This is also a very strong, legendary martial spirit. If used well, it should be able to restrain the flames. Qingyun heard the words of Ling Yun, and was relieved. Lu Chongsheng went over and fire palm was released. Every single palm strike of flames brought along a scorching wave of air that spread into the surroundings, causing everyone to be extremely shocked. Kumingjiang met the attack with his fists. Each of his punches carried a strong Dao power. Like the impact of a river, there's a kind of stormy waves. In terms of momentum, Kumingjiang suppressed Lu Chongsheng. However, Qingyun also saw something wrong. Kumingjiang's momentum looked strong, but it is slightly lacking in stamina. The injuries on his body are not good. It is the group of bastard from Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. Qingyun cursed in his heart. A moment later, from the fight between the two, although Lu Chongsheng was suppressed, he dealt with it very calmly. When Kumingjiang punched, it seemed a bit messy. Kumingjiang, I know that your strength is not as strong as me. You will lose. Lu Chongsheng smiled proudly, and the flame, overflowing from his palms, suddenly became more intense. His palms suddenly transformed into two gigantic purple-gold fire palms. The flames of these two purple-gold fire palms are full of totem runes. Lu Chongsheng has not been in Medicine Immortal Valley for long, and he has learned this wave capturing mysterious palm to this point. Wave capturing mysterious palm is a good Xian technique. It can transform the martial spirit into a pair of giant palms. When attacking, the power will also increase. Kumingjiang's martial spirit should be the legendary Great River martial spirit. It is also a water attribute martial spirit. It should be able to release water and restrain Lu Chongsheng's flame. Lu Chongsheng's wave capturing mysterious palm is specially used to restrain water. It is very unpredictable. Qingyun heard the discussions of the people and was even more worried. The speed of Lu Chongsheng's palm suddenly accelerated a lot. Hoo. Chapter 560. Slander. With Lu Chongsheng's wave capturing mysterious palm, he immediately reversed the situation. The offensive was fierce, and Kumingjiang was suppressed at once. Kumingjiang was beaten by the pair of large purple-gold flame palms and kept retreating. The terrible thing is that when Lu Chongsheng shot out his palm, the violent waves swept out are like a scorching knife. It has to be said that this wave capturing mysterious palm is really very powerful. After Kumingjiang's big wave was hit by the fire palm, it directly turned into steam and dissipated. Moreover, when the flame meets the water, it will continue to rise. It's like boiling oil meets water. Hua. After a few rounds of fighting, Kumingjiang suddenly lost his hand and failed to attack. He had no time to avoid Lu Chongsheng's quick palm sweep, causing his head to be directly hit. Boom! This palm burst into a large flame and swept Kumingjiang out. Lu Chongsheng suddenly laughed and said, I will win. He quickly chased after Kumingjiang. One palm after another hit Kumingjiang's body. Stop, we lost. Qingyun quickly flew over and protected Kumingjiang. Jinmang and two middle-aged spirit martial realm also rushed over. It's good that you lost. Give me 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. Lu Chongsheng looked proud and sneered. Kumingjiang, are you just like this? You have been in the spirit martial realm for so long, and you are still not as good as me. Kumingjiang lost and lost miserably. This caused many people to sigh. Qingyun said coldly, Lu Chongsheng, don't be proud. Who doesn't know that Captain Ku is injured? You're just taking advantage of people. What is there to show off? Kumingjiang was treated by the two middle-aged spirit martial realm, and his injuries improved a little. He could only hand over 50,000 heavenly beast bones to Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng looked at the pile of heavenly beast bones and then weighed them. He laughed and said, Yin Darren, no matter what, I have defeated Kumingjiang fair and square. Yin Darren, You can only defeat me with tricks like arm wrestling. Now, everyone has seen it, right? I'm not weak at all. The reason why I lost to this Lord Yin earlier was because he used despicable means. Lu Chongsheng put away the 50,000 genes of heavenly beastbone and looked at the injured Kumingjiang. His mood was much better. Kumingjiang took a few deep breaths and said to Lu Chongsheng, "This matter, let's end it here. How can we just let it go like this? Unless you take out 150,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, I will not let it go. We will compete again." Lu Chongsheng said, "I'll do it. Send a 9th level martial Dao disciple to compete with me." Qin Yin said, "I'm sorry, our 9th level martial Dao disciples are all injured." Lu Chongsheng smirked and said, "You are not worthy to compete with us spirit martial realm martial artists." Qin Yin was furious, but was pulled by the injured Kumingjiang. "Jinmeng, you go." Kumingjiang coldly said. Lu Chongsheng quickly said, "We will not fight with sword cultivators. This kind of guy can cultivate a very strong origin sword. It is equivalent to them cheating." Kumingjiang gritted his teeth and said, "Imo-san, go up and meet him." Imo-san is a middle-aged man with a square face, thick eyebrows, and big eyes. He usually doesn't talk much, but he is a spirit martial realm martial artist. "Okay, I will defeat him." Imo-san nodded. Qin Yin quickly helped Kumingjiang and floated in the air. The competition between Imo-san and Lu Chongsheng has already begun. Imo-san's martial spirit is Purple Gold Thunder Ape Martial Spirit. At the beginning, he let the Purple Gold Thunder Ape Martial Spirit attach to his body, making him look like a half-human, half-ape savage. Imo-san, who looked silent and honest before, suddenly became very wild after entering this state. He issued a burst of roars, and purple thunder continued to appear on his body. Lu Chongsheng also felt a bit tricky and quickly avoided the purple thunder that gushed out of Imo-san's mouth. After avoiding it, Lu Chongsheng immediately moved quickly. While it was moving, bolts of purple lightning kept falling from the sky. Everyone has to be shocked by the strength of Lu Chongsheng. He can actually have such a crazy speed to avoid the lightning attack. Imo-san is also angry and quickly rushed to Lu Chongsheng and fought in close combat. In close combat, Lu Chongsheng is not afraid at all. He directly used his best wave capturing Xian Palm. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as the two got close, their fists violently collided and thunder and fire fought fiercely. Thunder and fire burst fiercely in all directions, flashing bursts of light continuously, making people feel pain in their eyes. "This guy really has a fire Shin body," Ling Yun suddenly said. "Little Yun, did you see it? His body has a very special absorption power that can absorb most of the thunder and lightning." "I saw it. Occasionally thunder and lightning hit him, but he didn't feel any pain." Qin Yun himself has a Xian body, and he knows that it is because the Xian body absorbs powerful attacks. Having a Xian body is equivalent to having a strong armor. "Little Yun, you have Heavenly Lion Xian body. Don't worry. This guy's Xian body is the kind that has just been formed. It is still weak. You were able to beat his mouth crooked before, and you didn't find out that he has cultivated a Xian body. It can be seen that his Xian body is not strong." Ling Yun said, "His Xian body is not strong? Do you need to consume your own energy to play a certain role?" Qin Yin suddenly felt that this kind of Xian body also has strong and weak points. "Of course, he is just a simple fire Xian body. You have Heavenly Lion Xian body. It is not comparable to you. Just like the Heavenly Lion bloodline is the same difference as ordinary beast bloodline." Ling Yun smiled and said, "Little Yun, with your current strength, even if you don't expose your totem martial arts, you can defeat him." Lu Chongsheng became more and more excited, and his wave capturing Xian Palm became more powerful. Imo-san couldn't break Lu Chongsheng's defense, and the wave capturing Xian Palm hit him, but it caused him a lot of damage. Kumingjiang saw that Imo-san's body was beaten black and black, and he also felt a little sad. "Lu Chongsheng, we admit defeat." Kumingjiang also shouted. he secretly blamed himself. He should not have been injured. Otherwise, Lu Chongsheng is not his opponent at all. Mo son lost, and he was very unwilling. He bowed his head very guiltily. Brother, you tried your best. Don't be discouraged. Kumingjiang dragged his weak body and patted Mo Sen's shoulder. The crowd of onlookers suddenly burst into cheers and constantly praised Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng defeated Kumingjiang before. It can be said that because Kumingjiang was injured, he could take advantage of it. But now that he had defeated Mo Sen, it was the real deal. Here, everyone admires the strong. Lu Chongsheng has won 2 battles in a row, which also made many people admire him. After all, the strongest people here are only at the early stage of spirit martial realm. As a result, Lu Chongsheng is also the strongest spirit martial realm in the heavenly beast desolate domain. Lu Chongsheng's humiliation of being slapped a few times before seemed to have been swept away. Lu Gongzi is really strong. It seems that Yun Darren used dirty means before. We all saw the strength of Lu Gongzi just now. Yun Darren is just a 9th level martial Dao realm. He won against Lu Gongzi in arm wrestling and also slapped Lu Gongzi a few times. He must have used despicable means to succeed. That Yun Darren is too much. Support Lu Gongzi to seek justice. Lu Gongzi, teach that bastard a lesson. Many people began to shout, including many female disciples. Lu Chongsheng enjoyed the feeling of being respected, which made him even more proud. He looked at Qin Yun with a proud face and shouted, Yun Darren, did you see it? The eyes of the crowd are bright. What else do you have to say now? What else can I say? Let's fight. Qin Yun said coldly, since you said that I used means during arm wrestling, then we will now use the method of martial arts to compete again. The onlookers immediately shouted, this guy uses poison, don't fight with him. This guy uses poison. It is impossible to guard against him. You can't win against him in martial arts. He is a 9th level martial Dao realm. He won against 3 people in an arm wrestling. This is indeed a big problem. Lu Gongzi, don't be tricked by him. The people who spoke are also spirit martial realm martial masters. They are now sure that Qin Yun used poison. Qin Yun was smeared by Lu Chongsheng, and he is also very angry. Lu Chongsheng looked at Qin Yun very proudly and said with a smile, did you see it? A guy like you simply won by means. You are not worthy to compete with me. You want to compete with me? This is an insult to me. Qin Yun listened to Lu Chongsheng's words and could not help but clench his teeth. He looked fiercely at a middle-aged onlooker and said coldly, you just said that I used poison? Do you have evidence? If you don't have proof and slander me, the consequences will be very serious. You despicable guy, are you trying to scare me? The tall and thin middle-aged man floated in the air and said with a strange smile, do you have the guts to hit me? I want to see how you use poison. Also, I tell you, I am a disciple of Cold Star Valley. I am good at dealing with all kinds of poisons. Your poison can't do anything to me. Shut up. Qin Yun was furious and used 9 extinction steps. No one could see the trajectory of his movement just now. They only saw that he suddenly appeared in front of the tall and thin middle-aged man and punched out. His fist penetrated the middle-aged man's body. There are also many people around the tall and thin middle-aged man. At this time, they were terrified and quickly moved away from Qin Yun. There is no evidence to say that I used poison. This is your end. After Qin Yun retracted his fist, the tall and thin middle-aged man fell from the air with a face full of fear. Qin Yun's attack just now, whether it is speed or strength, is shocking. The terrible thing is that the tall and thin middle-aged man is wearing a royal grade spirit armor, but he was still punched through. Without a certain amount of strength, it is impossible to break that kind of spirit armor. The most incredible thing is that the middle-aged man is a spirit martial realm martial master, but he was defeated in an instant. Qin Yun looked fiercely at the middle-aged martial masters who said that he used poison. You just said that I used poison. This is slander me. Quickly come out and admit your mistake. The angry Qin Yun, the heavenly lion bloodline in his body, is roaring. Chapter 561. Fire Xian Body Chapter 561. Fire Xian Body. The strength that Qin Yun showed at this time is indeed very strong. It is by no means the strength of ordinary ninth-level martial Dao realm. When Lu Chongsheng and Qin Yun wrestled, he knew that Qin Yun has no weak strength. But he would never admit such a fact and even slander Qin Yun so that others would not look down on him. And now, Qin Yun had displayed extraordinary strength, allowing everyone to have a rough understanding of his strength. The person who just said that I used poison, if you have the guts, come out. Qin Yun glanced coldly at the crowd. Come out. A middle-aged man with a big forehead sneered. Your strength is really good, but if you want to defeat Spirit Martial Realm, you are still far from it. The middle-aged man with a big forehead looked at Qin Yun with disdain and said loudly, I am Duan Yuan of Myriad Star Sect, Purple Gold Wind Martial Spirit. If you can't even beat me, don't talk about winning against Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng quickly said, Brother Du, you still have to forget it. If you fight with him, in case he uses poison and you have no evidence, he will say that you are slandering him again. He can just punch the disciple of Cold Star Valley, but that's just his sneak attack. It doesn't explain anything. Du Anyuan nodded. Lu Gongzi is right. If I fight with him and he suddenly uses poison, I really can't prove it. Qin Yun saw at a glance that Lu Chongsheng must insist that he used poison in any case. Only in this way, Lu Chongsheng will not be laughed at because he lost in arm wrestling. For Lu Chongsheng's means, Qin Yun has to admire. Moreover, Lu Chongsheng has scruples and does not dare to compete with Qin Yun. As long as he insists that he used poison, there is no need to compete. In this way, Qin Yun has no way to prove that he did not use poison. Qin Yun clenched his fist and said coldly, Duan Yuan, I am 100 meters away from you. At this distance, I can't use poison on you, right? If I defeat you in an instant, I don't need to use poison at all, and I can prove that I have strong strength. You and I are separated by 100 meters, yet you came over in an instant and defeated me. This is indeed a very strong power. Even a top genius like young Master Lu may not be able to do it. Du Anyuan smiled. If you can't do it, give me 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. How about it? Hearing him mention the heavenly beast bone, everyone cursed in their hearts. This Du Anyuan jumped out to confront Qin Yun, obviously for benefits. All right, but if you lose, your cultivation will be crippled, so I don't want your heavenly beast bone. Qin Yun clenched his fist and began gathering power. You're so far away from me, and you don't have a chance to poison me. You can't defeat me in an instant, let alone cripple me. No matter how Duan Yuan thought about it, he felt that Qin Yun could never defeat him. Now, I will use my strength to prove that I don't use poison. Moreover, you will also be punished. Qin Yun said expressionlessly. Lu Chongsheng frowned. Even he was not sure that he could defeat Duan Yuan in an instant. Duan Yuan has just stepped into the spirit martial realm for a few months, but he is not easy to deal with. I'll start. As soon as Duan Yuan finished, he shouted, Start. As soon as the word start fell, Qin Yun disappeared in the blink of an eye, and Duan Yuan also quickly flew away. In the blink of an eye, he ran a kilometer away. Unexpectedly, when Duan Yuan just flew a kilometer away, he was chased by Qin Yun, punched through his abdomen, and fell to the ground. The power used by Qin Yun is the power of Heavenly Lion Xian Body plus Primordial Dao power. These two different types of power, perfectly integrated together, produced an incomparably powerful power. Even if Duan Yuan wore armor, his Dao core was smashed by Qin Yun's punch. Duan Yuan, who was lying on the ground, was kicked back by Qin Yun. This is the price he paid for losing. How can it be so easy to win 50,000 genes of heavenly beast bones? Qin Yun sneered. Before, when a disciple of Cold Star Valley was crippled, the people of Cold Star Valley did not dare to say anything. Now that the disciple of Myriad Star Sect was crippled, they dare not say anything. Behind Qin Yun is the Immortal Weapon City, which is a powerful immortal sect. Everyone looked at Du Anyuan, who was struggling on the ground, and secretly took a breath of cold air. Qin Yun's strength is indeed very terrifying. In a short period of time, he defeated a spirit martial realm martial master with his bare hands. Those who still question my use of poison immediately stand up. I will let him be convinced. Qin Yun said coldly to the crowd. Now, no one dares to say anything anymore. Judging from the situation of Qin Yun's attack, there is no chance to use poison at all, and there is no need for that. He can defeat the spirit martial realm in an instant, and then use poison is simply superfluous. Qin Yun looked at a round-faced, middle-aged man with a thick neck and said coldly, "You just shouted that I used poison, and your voice was very loud. Now, shouldn't you clarify for me? Slandering me for using poison, I will pursue it to the end." "Yindarin, you're just bullying those small star sects. I am a disciple of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. I am not afraid of you." The thick-necked, middle-aged man sneered loudly. "I just thought that you used poison. I just said it casually. I don't care if you really use poison or not." "Then you should apologize for this matter now," Qin Yun said. "Apologize? Who do you think you are? A temporary disciple who has not yet entered the immortal weapon city dares to be presumptuous in front of me? I am the main sect disciple of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain. So what?" The moment Qin Yun said those words, it sounded like thunder. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he also appeared in front of the thick-necked middle-aged man. A punch blasted out in the air, and the power of vibration came out mightily. Wave after wave of impact went out. Boom, boom, boom. The power of vibration made a rumbling sound and hit the middle-aged man one after another. The middle-aged man was hit 9 times in a row and was hit 9 times in a row. Then he lay on the ground, his whole body twitched, and it seemed that he was seriously injured. Qin Yun just used a little bit of earthquake divine ability power, but it can directly cause vibration in other people's body. This is the most terrible. Several people from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain saw this scene, and they were angry. Everyone saw Qin Yun once again defeated a powerful spirit martial realm martial artist, and they all stayed away. "Senior brothers and junior brothers, quickly take him down." The middle-aged man from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain shouted angrily. Kunming Jiang saw that Qin Yun was about to be besieged and suddenly shouted, "You group of despicable guys, obviously that guy is weak and lost in the competition, and you are not willing to pay the price of failure." As he spoke, Jianmeng also flew over and stood beside Qin Yun. Jianmeng held a sharp, long sword in his hand. The threatening sword power made those close to him feel incomparable fear. "People of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, you can step back. I don't want to offend you, but if you go too far, don't blame me for being impolite." Jianmeng's words are still very powerful. The origin sword in his hand is not a joke. Martial down 9th level sword cultivator. The cultivation of the origin sword, it is equivalent to a Xian tool, and it is the kind that is refined to the extreme perfection. This is also the terrible thing about sword cultivators. Although Kunming Jiang is injured, with the strength of Jianmeng, he can still fight against several spirit martial realm martial artists. Lu Chongsheng is not willing to compete with Jianmeng because he is afraid of Jianmeng's strength. The people of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain have just surrounded, and after seeing Jianmeng, they can only grit their teeth and retreat. "Those who just said that I used poison, stand up and apologize to me." Qin Yun's voice is still calm. It can be seen that he does not want to continue fighting. Those who accuse Qin Yun of using poison before have come out to apologize to Qin Yun. The reason why Lu Chongsheng can make many people believe that Qin Yun used poison is also because Qin Yun is only at the 9th level martial Dao realm. Now, Qin Yun has used his powerful strength to prove that his strength does not lose to spirit martial realm, so that everyone can believe this matter. Lu Chongsheng and a few of you are the culprits who slandered me. Qin Yun looked coldly at Lu Chongsheng and a few people behind him and said with anger, "If you don't apologize to me, the consequences will be very serious. I admit that you have enough strength. We are also willing to compete with you. You have done so many things. Don't you want to compete with us and win back those heavenly beast bones?" Lu Chongsheng will not apologize at all. In this situation, he can only use his own strength to defeat Qin Yun. If he continues to evade, then everyone will think that Lu Chongsheng is afraid. Yindarin, let's fight. 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, how about it? Lu Chongsheng looked at Kumingjiang. Kumingjiang also saw the strength of Qin Yun just now and quickly said, "How can 100,000 genes be enough?" Lu Chongsheng, we will bet 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones if you have the guts. Just agree. Ha ha, this is great. Since you're so generous to give me so many heavenly beast bones, I can only be grateful. Lu Chongsheng is still very confident in his own strength. Ku Mingjiang lost 2 games before, a total of 100,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. If they lose another 200,000 genes, they still have a lot. So, Ku Mingjiang is not afraid of losing. Lu Chongsheng finally accepted the challenge. Everyone also hid higher and farther. Yindarin, you slap me 3 times, I will slap you 300 times. After Lu Chongsheng finished, his long hair suddenly fluttered. The original black hair suddenly turned purple gold and burned with flames. It is a fire totem. The totem is on the hair. Lu Chongsheng is going to show his true strength. It is really rare to see such a young totem martial master like him. Wait, his body seems to have a strange aura. Did you feel it? After everyone heard it, they immediately sensed it seriously. It is Xian Body. The legendary Xian Body. That is Xian Body Qi. Fire Xian Body. No wonder he has such a high status in Medicine Immortal Valley. It turns out to be a terrible physique. Among the crowd, there was a sudden shout. Although everyone knows that each sect has Xian Body disciples, they are usually very mysterious and will not easily show up. Chapter 562. Rupee. Because Lu Chongsheng has Xian Body and Fire Totem, he was also told not to expose it at will. And now he can't care so much. He wants to win 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones in revenge. Only by defeating Yundarin in front of him can he completely wash away the humiliation of the previous 3 slaps. Qin Yun was not surprised at all. He just wondered why the totem tattoo was on his hair. Yundarin, you have to be careful. Ku Mingjiang saw the power of Lu Chongsheng at this time and was secretly frightened and quickly reminded Qin Yun. As early as before, Ling Yun'er told Qin Yun that Lu Chongsheng has Fire Xian Body and he was already prepared. Yindarin, have you seen it? This is my true strength. When I was at the 9th level Martial Dao Realm, I could easily defeat many Spirit Martial Realm martial artists. Dealing with you now is like playing a game for me. Lu Chongsheng saw the envious and jealous eyes of everyone, and he was even more proud. His eyes seemed to be on the top of his head. But you still lost to me in arm wrestling. Qin Yun said, and you were slapped by me 3 times. Since you have such a powerful force, why didn't you use it earlier? That's because I'm a very low-key person. Lu Chongsheng sneered. I admit that you have some strength, but you are only a Martial Dao 9th level martial artist. You have not even opened your Bone Spirit, and you can't defeat me using the power of Bone Spirit. After opening the Bone Spirit, it can integrate a powerful beast soul or other souls, so that the bones can obtain a powerful Bone Spirit and become stronger. Qin Yun's Bone Spirit soul is ready. It is the heavenly lion beast soul. Now, he only needs to wait for the Bone Spirit to open and he can start the soul fusion. Look at the palm. After Lu Chongsheng shot out a palm, he sneered. As soon as his voice fell, a flame illusory palm with a height of more than 10 meters rushed to Qin Yun. The speed was so fast that Qin Yun could not avoid it. Boom! The huge flame illusory palm suddenly submerged Qin Yun and made a whistling sound. The heat wave blew in all directions and rushed to the sky. While everyone felt the scorching heat, they also shivered slightly. This is Void Yuan Xian Palm. It is also a martial spirit mysterious technique. Didn't he have the wave capturing Xian Palm before? Now, with the Void Yuan Mysterious Palm, he actually grasped 2 mysterious arts. This is too terrifying. Everyone looked at Qin Yun, who was enveloped in flames, and exclaimed, Lu Chongsheng jumped into the air and shot a huge flame palm from the air. His palm pressed against the ground, creating a huge handprint. The flames became even more ferocious and roared continuously. Just as Lu Chongsheng was about to launch the third palm strike, Qin Yun suddenly flew out of the flames. Qin Yun leaped out and charged straight into the sky like a fiery light. Boom! Qin Yun, who suddenly flew out, is also very fast. He hit Lu Chongsheng's body and made a muffled sound. Lu Chongsheng was hit and shouted, then quickly avoided Qin Yun in the air. The clothes on Qin Yun's body were burned to tatters, but he did not suffer any major injuries. During the martial arts competition, many people have checked and did not find Qin Yun and Lu Chongsheng wearing armor or anything. However, Qin Yun was able to withstand Lu Chongsheng's two powerful palm strikes. Burning Heaven Raging Flame Palm. After Lu Chongsheng was hit, he screamed in anger and waved his palm in the distance. A strong Xian body aura, accompanied by a strong totem power, shrouded violently. In the sky, there were many flame palms. Those palms were like ferocious wolves as they pounced at Qin Yun. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Every palm that flew over collided with it, causing an explosion. Hundreds of palms flew over one after another, and at the same time, there was a burst of scorching wind. The people around quickly dodged, worried that they would be affected. This guy used totem martial arts. Qin Yun is very sure that this kind of totem power can only be released by totem martial arts. Don't be afraid. Your heavenly lion Xian body totem is Xian totem, and it is also fire. That guy's fire totem is just a spirit totem, far less than you. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun was bombarded by many fire totem power. Although he was hit a little painful, it was only this and could not affect the vital parts of his body. This must be totem martial arts. Lu Chongsheng can comprehend totem martial arts. It's really amazing. Qin Yun was attacked by continuous fire palms, and it turned into a ball of fire. The temperature in the center must be very high. Qin Yun should be burned to ashes, right? Even if he doesn't turn into ashes, he will turn into coke. Lu Chongsheng constantly attacked with burning Heaven Raging Flame Palm. Dense fire palm phantoms wrapped Qin Yun into a fireball. Just when Lu Chongsheng was secretly proud, he suddenly heard Qin Yun let out a deafening roar. Qin Yun's heavenly lion Xian body vibrated with the power of earthquake, and the flame wrapped around him was shaken away. Dragon Tiger Violent Scale Slash. Qin Yun also used totem martial arts, and his palm was like a knife. I saw countless black shadows suddenly flashed out. Looking carefully, it is like a dragon and a tiger flying and finally turned into a dragon-scale broadsword, slashing at Lu Chongsheng. The dragon-scale broadsword flying in the sky issued a dragon-tiger roar. Lu Chongsheng wanted to avoid, but found that the scale-like broadsword, like a giant net, pressed down. Totem martial arts? Yindarin, you actually have a totem. At the same time, Lu Chongsheng screamed. He could only keep using his palms to resist, and his body was also cut by a burst of energy. Lu Chongsheng was shocked and angry. His long hair flung and quickly released a fire totem. After the fire totem came out, it turned into a fire vine and quickly spread over to entangle Qin Yun. Qin Yun was not willing to show weakness and quickly condensed an illusory dragon tiger. Everyone also saw a mighty dragon tiger flying through the void and charging towards the fiery vines. Lu Chongsheng was frightened and quickly used the burning Heaven Raging Flame Palm to attack. He wanted to destroy the black dragon tiger beast. The black dragon tiger beast went over, its body trembled, and the scales on its body flew out. It is the dragon tiger Violent Scale Slash. The sky full of purple gold fire palm and the sky full of black dragon scale broadsword collided with each other. It is like countless fireworks in the air. A series of explosions came crashing down on the ground, causing the earth to sink. You don't have the power of Bone Spirit. You will lose. Lu Chongsheng's fire palm actually shook all the dragon scale broadsword and then fiercely pounced on the dragon tiger beast. Boom, boom, boom. The dragon tiger beast bombarded with countless fire palms, causing bursts of dazzling flashes, and were scattered in an instant. Qin Yun also took advantage of this time and quickly attacked. He came to the front of Lu Chongsheng, condensed the power of earthquake on his arm and punched. When the fist punched out, it stirred up a shock wave far away. Lu Chongsheng wanted to punch back, but the power in his body was scattered by the shock wave. He quickly tried his best, condensed all the power to protect himself, and then fell to the ground, avoiding Qin Yun's terrible shock punch. Everyone knows that Qin Yun can release a terrible shock force that is impossible to guard against. At this time, everyone thinks that it is the power brought by the dragon tiger totem. Even Lu Chongsheng thinks so. Yundaren's martial spirit should be black. His totem power is black. Black martial spirit. If you have a black martial spirit at the first level of martial Dao, then when you step into the third level of martial Dao, you can cultivate a divine power. And after the 6th and 9th level of martial Dao, you can strengthen a certain kind of divine power. So, this guy used the power of divine power. No wonder he is so terrifying. He can easily hang up spirit martial realm. Black martial spirit and totem. Is this a monster from a powerful family? Everyone saw Qin Yun chasing Lu Chongsheng, and they were shocked. Even Kum Mingjiang's eyes widened. Jianmeng knows that Yundaren is Qin Yun, and he also knows that Qin Yun is very strong, but he did not expect him to hide so deep. Lu Chongsheng has a purple gold martial spirit and fire totem, but compared with Yundaren's black martial spirit and dragon tiger totem, it is much worse. If Lu Chongsheng didn't have the power of fire Xian body, maybe he would have been defeated, Kum Mingjiang said. Lu Chongsheng just entered the spirit martial realm and has the power of bone spirit, but now he is still suppressed. Jianmeng said. Kum Mingjiang thought of this and could not help but exclaim. Qin Yun's power is by no means so simple. Lu Chongsheng, who fought with Qin Yun, directly felt the horror of the shock force, which made it impossible to gather the power in his body. Boom! Lu Chongsheng dodged a few times and finally was hit by a heavy punch and was suddenly hit from the air. Lu Chongsheng, who was knocked down, smashed a big pit on the ground. Seeing this scene, everyone knows that Lu Chongsheng is about to be defeated. Now everyone has seen Lu Chongsheng being crushed by a powerful force. Qin Yun did not expect that his aura was revealed so much, but Lu Chongsheng did not recognize him. It's over. Qin Yun fell down fiercely and stomped on the ground. The incomparably embarrassed Lu Chongsheng roared. Holding a long sword in his hand, he stabbed at Qin Yun, who was falling down. After Qin Yun saw it, he quickly avoided the long sword that stabbed at him. Lu Chongsheng, you use a weapon. After Kum Mingjiang saw it, he was furious. You scoundrel! Son of a bitch! Go to hell! Lu Chongsheng looked at Kum Mingjiang and slammed a talisman. At the same time, Qin Yun also took out a hammer and hit Lu Chongsheng with a strong 9-extinction primordial force. Lu Chongsheng suddenly had a square shield in his hand. 9-Sun Divine Hammer hit the square shield and a strong flame burst out. The square shield was smashed and Lu Chongsheng was also sent flying to the distance. Boom! At the same time that the square shield exploded, the talisman that Lu Chongsheng threw also burst out with a terrible thunder. It's a Dao talisman. Qin Yun looked at Kum Mingjiang fiercely and shouted, Captain Jianmeng. The furious thunder and lightning crazily bombarded the area. Qin Yun kept shouting, Captain Jianmeng, and rushed in. The power of Dao talisman is very terrible. Even if Qin Yun has heavenly lion Xian body, he was hit by the lightning and felt severe pain all over his body. The violent thunder Dao talisman covers an area of only 20 or 30 meters, and the power is more concentrated. Chapter 563. 563 Chapter 563 Extinguishing Light. Although Jianmeng and Kum Mingjiang are very strong, they can't resist the attack of Dao talismans. The onlookers also felt that Lu Chongsheng is too tasteless. He can't beat others. He actually used weapons and Dao talismans. Lu Chongsheng is also desperate and quickly shouted, the disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Let's quickly join forces and take them down. As long as we take them down, we can get a lot of heavenly beast bones. We have a lot of heavenly beast bones, and the elders of the sect will protect us. Qin Yun quickly rescued Jian Mang and Kuming Jiang. Other disciples of Immortal Weapon City also rushed over to heal Kuming Jiang and Jian Mang. Destroy them. A middle-aged man from Azure Flame Immortal Mountain shouted and rushed over. The people of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain saw Jian Mang and Kuming Jiang injured and knew that there are not many people in Immortal Weapon City who can fight. Lu Chongsheng, you are dead. Qin Yun looked at Lu Chongsheng and shouted angrily. It is you who are dead. Lu Chongsheng laughed. Our Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain joined forces. Your Immortal Weapon City can't do anything to us, huh? After Lu Chongsheng threw caution to the wind, he also ignored the consequences. Because he felt that his talent is so good and he got a lot of heavenly beast bones for his sect, he will definitely be protected. There are dozens of disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. After they rushed over, they surrounded Qin Yun and more than a dozen people. The onlookers are just watching the excitement. They dare not offend Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Kuming Jiang, are you still alive? Hand over all the heavenly beast bones in your hands. Lu Chongsheng sneered. I will not give it to you even if I die. Kuming Jiang was seriously injured and his skin was scorched black. Jian Mang is not much better. Qin Yun stood up and looked at Lu Chongsheng and said coldly, Lu Chongsheng, you lost to me in martial arts. You should have given me 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. And now, you not only did not give it, but also used our talismans to hurt our people. You are really despicable. There's so many people watching here today. Are you not afraid of losing face? You forced me to do that. You are obviously a small character in the 9th level martial Dao realm, but you have repeatedly stepped on my head. Lu Chongsheng was also angry. Since you have repeatedly humiliated me, I will go all out. Now, what I can do is to obtain the greatest benefits for my sect and fellow disciples. If they pursue this matter, I will bear the responsibility alone. Lu Chongsheng's words were so impassioned that the disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley were secretly moved. Bah, robbery is robbery. Qin Yun said angrily. Everyone, capture them, torture them, and force them to hand over the good things on them. Lu Chongsheng also plans to do a big job. The square shield that he had just taken out was a Xian artifact. However, it was blasted apart by Qin Yun's hammer. Therefore, he knew that the hammer was not simple and wanted to obtain it. The group of people hurriedly flew over. Although the disciples of Immortal Weapon City are very angry, they are helpless and they did not abandon Kuming Jiang and Jian Mang to escape. You are courting death. Qin Yun roared and released the bone dragon puppet. Suddenly, a huge bone dragon appeared in the air. The bone dragon roared, and the dragon tail swept down and suddenly swept a group of people out. Yundarin, did you release this? Lu Chongsheng was shocked, and the bone dragon also made him envious. Yes, you are going to die. As soon as the bone dragon came out, under the control of Qin Yun, the disciples of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, and Medicine Immortal Valley were scattered, and most of them died. Even the Spirit Martial Realm Martial Masters were killed in 2 or 3 moves. Qin Yun clenched the 9-Sun Divine Hammer and quickly rushed to Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng gritted his teeth and quickly took out a talisman. He turned into a black shadow and fled. Shadow escaped Dao Talisman. Qin Yun cursed a few times and could not see the trace of Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng ran away, which made Qin Yun extremely angry. Since you want to rob us, don't think about living. Qin Yun, who was furious, quickly flew behind a middle-aged man and hit him with a hammer. The 9-Sun Divine Hammer unleashed a ferocious primordial Dao power. It furiously released a flame that directly killed the middle-aged man. Yundarin, you want to kill us? A middle-aged man who fled was scared to death. Yes, I'm going to kill you. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for listening to Lu Chongsheng. Don't worry, I will definitely kill Lu Chongsheng. The bone dragon in the air, with a claw, slammed the middle-aged man to the ground. Qin Yin fell and smashed him with a hammer. Another spirit martial realm martial master had died. The onlookers were dumbfounded. There was a burst of fear and amazement in their hearts. The spirit martial realm of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are all main sect disciples. Although not the top kind, it is also very important for an immortal sect. Boom, boom, boom. Whether it is a spirit martial realm martial master or a 9th level martial Dao realm, they were either killed by the bone dragon or killed by Qin Yin. Everyone is dumbfounded, watching Qin Yin and the bone dragon cooperate and kill the disciples of the two immortal sects one by one. Endless anger is burning in Qin Yun's body. This makes his 9-sun divine hammer even more furious, and the primordial Dao power is even more fierce. As long as you are hit by the hammer, you will be seriously injured even if you're not dead. If you are hit by the second hammer, even if you are blasted into slag, in less than a moment, the world became quiet. The bone dragon was taken back by Qin Yun, and the ground is a mess, full of debris. Although there was a wave of scorching hot air, everyone felt a chill down their spines. The disciples of Azure Flame Immortal Mountain and Medicine Immortal Valley are almost all killed. This caused the onlookers to tremble inwardly. In the Proud Star State, this is a very sensational event. It has been a long time since so many disciples of immortal sects have been killed, and they were killed in public. The disciples of Immortal Weapon City are also dumbfounded. Don't worry, I will not implicate Immortal Weapon City. I will not be a disciple of Immortal Weapon City. After Qin Yin flew back, he took out 2 light inscription talismans and attached them to Ku Mingjiang and Jianmeng. Although Ku Mingjiang is seriously injured, he can also see what has just happened, and he is shocked to the extreme. Yun Darren, you can rest assured. I promise that our Immortal Weapon City will definitely accept you as a disciple. Lu Chongsheng used Dao talismans to injure me and Jianmeng, and also mobilized his disciples to rob us. This is his fault first. Our Immortal Weapon City is reasonable. Naturally, we are not afraid of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Ku Mingjiang patted Qin Yun's shoulder. If Medicine Immortal Valley covers up Lu Chongsheng, then I, Jianmeng, will be absolutely irreconcilable with Medicine Immortal Valley in this life. I will not rest until I die. After Jianmeng recovered a little, he said in a low and hoarse voice. His voice was very low, but everyone heard it clearly. The murderous aura with sword power collided with the hearts of everyone. It can be seen how angry Jianmeng is at this time. Ku Mingjiang said, "Go, let's go out. Lu Chongsheng should be outside." Jianmeng and Ku Mingjiang, with the support of each other, walked to the light curtain and came to the platform of the iceberg outside. There is a spacious square, and the sky around is full of flying ships. As soon as Ku Mingjiang and the others came out, they saw a group of people outside. The sect elders of Immortal Weapon City, Medicine Immortal Valley, and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are all here. Mingjiang, how did you get hurt so badly? A one-eyed old man from Immortal Weapon City, with a cold face, quickly came over. Just now Chongsheng said that your Immortal Weapon City is bullying him inside. An old man from Medicine Immortal Valley came over and said angrily, "Where is Lu Chongsheng?" Jianmeng said weakly. The origin sword in his body also flew out fiercely. With a monstrous murderous aura sword power, it filled the square. The resentment shocked many of the older generation. Chu Binyu, the villa master of Sabersword Villa, also quickly came over. As soon as he came over, he recognized Qin Yun, and he was surprised, but he did not immediately ask questions. Lu Chongsheng, he is full of nonsense. Ku Mingjiang was furious. He attacked us with Dao talismans. Humph, did you attack him first? The old man from Medicine Immortal Valley sneered. Fart. Jianmeng, who was furious, quickly rushed to the old man from Medicine Immortal Valley with his sword, but was quickly stopped by Chu Binyu. Subsequently, Kumingjiang told the whole story. The disciples of Sword Immortal Pavilion and Demon Immortal Cave, who came out, also nodded to testify. Let that bastard Lu Chongsheng come out. He still owes us 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. Kumingjiang glared at the old man from Medicine Immortal Valley and roared. Several elders of the Immortal Weapon City have extremely ugly expressions on their faces, because their disciples were actually besieged by 2 immortal sections. The elders of Medicine Immortal Valley were speechless at this time. You, the disciples who besieged you, how are they now? An old man from Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, asked quickly. They are all dead. I killed them. Qin Yin stood up. They besieged us. I had no choice but to do so. I am just a temporary disciple. One person does one thing. This has nothing to do with Immortal Weapon City. The one-eyed old man quickly shouted. How can this have nothing to do with our Immortal Weapon City? You alone killed that group of bastards. It is a meritorious deed. You killed them all? The old man from Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, said with a trembling voice. Yes, many people have seen it. Qin Yun's face is not afraid. He is always ready with Heavenly Lion Dragon Suppression Cauldron. If they attack, he will also fight back. The elders of other sects are surprised and excited in their hearts, watching the big show, because for many years, these major immortal sects have not had any collision. The elders of Medicine Immortal Valley are also ashen, because the disciples they sent and are almost all dead. It can't be said that they are very good, but at least they have good talent. You Medicine Immortal Valley, quickly call Lu Chongxing out. Jian Mang said angrily. I want to cut this bastard with my own hands. Lu Chongsheng was injured and was taken back for treatment. The elder of Medicine Immortal Valley, although angry in his heart, thought about it carefully. He also knew that this was their fault first. Then you will be punished on his behalf. As Jian Mang spoke, the origin sword in his hand stabbed at the elder of Medicine Immortal Valley. Chapter 564. Immortal Sect Conflict. Jian Mang usually does not like to cause trouble. At this time, he is so angry and took the initiative to attack the elder of Medicine Immortal Valley because he was seriously injured by Lu Chongsheng. The injured Jian Mang, although his sword speed is very fast, the person he attacked is a martial master in the middle and late stage spirit martial realm. Presumptuous Jr. The old man from Medicine Immortal Valley also attacked quickly and sent Jian Mang flying with a palm. Medicine Immortal Valley bastards, I will fight with you. The one-eyed old man of Immortal Weapon City roared and slammed his palm across the air. The strength of the palm blade turned into a sharp air blade and directly killed the elder of Medicine Immortal Valley. The one-eyed old man is a martial monarch of Xian Martial Realm, and his strength is several streets away from Spirit Martial Realm. It was very normal for him to kill his opponent in one move. This made the elders of other sects dumbfounded. People from other sects did not want to get involved in this dispute and quickly retreated from the platform. Immortal Weapon City, don't go too far. The old martial monarch of Medicine Immortal Valley said angrily. At this time, only the people of Immortal Weapon City, Medicine Immortal Valley, and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are here. You hand over Lu Chongsheng, otherwise I guarantee that more of you will die. The one-eyed old man said coldly. Lu Chongsheng used Dao Talisman to seriously injure the disciples of our sect, and also encouraged others to besiege and kill the people of our Immortal Weapon City. This is all his fault. The disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were also killed when they besieged Qin Yun and others. This is the most painful thing for them. Therefore, they must get it back. At the moment, Azure Flame Immortal Mountain and Medicine Immortal Valley can no longer care about their mistakes. They all agreed that Immortal Weapon City must pay the price. As for Lu Chongsheng, they can't hand him over. He is an excellent seedling with Fire Xian body and Fire Totem. Moreover, he also obtained more than 100,000 genes of Heavenly Beast Bones, which is a great contribution. There are only a dozen elders in Immortal Weapon City. In Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain have a total of nearly 30 people. In number and strength, they are superior to Immortal Weapon City. Immortal Weapon City, you have to see the situation in front of you. The old man of Medicine Immortal Valley said coldly. In this world, strength speaks. Can you beat us? Since you can't beat us, you don't have the qualifications to negotiate with us. The old man from Medicine Immortal Valley is a martial king. His aura is so oppressive that Qin Yun and others can't breathe. Don't think that we're afraid just because you have more people. Even if I die, I will drag a few of them down with me. Although the one-eyed old man was in the profound martial realm, he wasn't afraid at all. Chu Binyu sighed and said, although I am a guest elder, I am also a part of the Immortal Weapon City. Since you want to fight, let's fight. Chu Binyu's strength is not weak at all. It seems that he has the cultivation of Martial King, but many people feel that he has surpassed Martial King. Then let's fight. The old man from Medicine Immortal Valley roared, took out a long spear and stabbed at the one-eyed old man. Kill! The one-eyed old man grabbed the long spear with his palm and shouted. In an instant, a group of martial lords and martial kings soared into the air and started a chaotic battle. Several spirit martial realm martial masters are still watching Ku Mingjiang and others on the ground. Ku Mingjiang and others are not afraid because there are two old men here to protect them. You're seriously injured. It should be very painful, right? It's better to die. A middle-aged martial master from Medicine Immortal Valley grinned and rushed to Ku Mingjiang and smashed down with a stick. A short old martial master quickly slashed out with a saber and blocked the long stick. Then he shouted to the old man next to him, Elder Zhang, quickly protect these juniors. Elder Zhang is a disciple of the Tian family with another surname. Although his surname is not Tian, he also has a high status in the Tian family. Elder Zhang just stood there and watched. He did not mean to make a move. I don't want to mess with you. Elder Zhang smiled coldly. The short old martial master also knows the character of Elder Zhang and can only grit his teeth and face the few martial masters. Quickly kill Jian Meng. This guy can cultivate the origin sword. His strength is the most terrifying. An old martial master of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, quickly shouted. At this time, there is also a martial master who stabbed Jian Meng with a sword. Jian Meng was hit by a palm just now, and now he can't avoid it at all, let alone fight back. Qin Yun suddenly slashed out a saber and directly cut the long sword that was stabbed. Seeing Qin Yun's saber, Elder Zhang's eyes widened and he shouted, Dao Tool? And is an ancient Dao rune. Are you Qin Yun? The surrounding onlookers were instantly shocked. This Yundarin is actually Qin Yun. However, Qin Yun obviously can't enter to the heavenly beast desolate domain. So why did he come out from inside? Qin Yun, how did you enter the heavenly beast desolate domain? Elder Zhang asked. I didn't go in from that entrance. As Qin Yun replied, he continued to slash a few times, resisting a martial master. Ku Mingjiang looked at Qin Yun with surprise. Of course, he has heard of Qin Yun's deeds. He previously learned that Qin Yun was restricted from entering the heavenly beast desolate domain and felt very regretful. But unexpectedly, Qin Yun actually went in. Elder Zhang's face sank. He took out a long sword and suddenly stabbed Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer and seriously resisted the two martial masters of Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, and Medicine Immortal Valley. He did not pay attention to the back. Elder Zhang's swift stab was very fast. Qin Yun, be careful. Ku Mingjiang shouted and used all his strength to fly over. Qin Yun turned around and found that Elder Zhang actually pierced Ku Mingjiang's body. Captain! Qin Yun's eyes were red, and he suddenly roared loudly. His speed was as fast as lightning. He rushed over and hit Elder Zhang's head with a hammer. Boom! Elder Zhang's head was instantly smashed into pieces, and he was directly blasted to death. The crowd watching the battle in the air made a burst of exclamation. Qin Yun actually killed the elder of their sect. The martial masters of medicine, Immortal Valley and Azure Flame, Immortal Mountain, did not expect Elder Zhang to suddenly attack Qingyun. Elder Zhang of Immortal Weapon City suddenly turned around and attacked Qingyun. This matter is indeed beyond everyone's expectations. The most terrifying thing is that Qingyun was actually able to kill that Elder Zhang. There are also many Tian family disciples among the onlookers, but they did not make a sound, otherwise they would have been involved. The people of their Tian family were killed by Qingyun. This matter must be reported back. Qingyun, who was angry, quickly mobilized all his strength. The iceberg suddenly trembled violently. Qingyun released the power of Earthquake Divine Ability and threw the Nine Sun Divine Hammer. He used Six-Style Forging Dragon. He faced a middle-aged man's long sword and smashed down with a hammer. The sword was smashed into pieces, and the martial master was forced to retreat a few steps. Qingyun, go and protect Kumingjiang and Jianmeng. The short martial master, his combat power is also very terrible. He has repelled 2 enemies. Qingyun quickly pushed behind Kumingjiang and Jianmeng. Above the distant sky, there is a constant rumbling sound. Martial Monarch and Martial King are fighting very fiercely over there. There's a feeling of collapsing mountains. Many of the mountains nearby had collapsed. Even for this iceberg, many layers of ice had shattered. Let's retreat. An old man from Medicine Immortal Valley, seeing that they are no match, flew to a blue flying giant ship. Kumingjiang was stabbed by a sword, and his injury is even more serious. He saw the flying giant ship that is slowly moving and said in a low voice, Qingyun, that is the flying magic tool of Medicine Immortal Valley. Lu Chongsheng is most likely inside. Everyone also looked at the blue flying giant ship. At this time, it suddenly moved. It is very likely that it is going to escape. Don't even think about running. Qingyun shouted and then released the bone dragon. The bone dragon roared out, flying in the air, domineering and powerful, exuding a powerful dragon power, shocking everyone. Roar, roar, roar. The bone dragon roared a few times and flew to the blue flying giant ship, slammed into it, and directly pierced a hole in the big ship. The huge bone dragon drilled into the body of the giant ship and raged inside. It was only a few moments, and the giant ship was torn into many pieces. The sect disciples floating in the air were shocked and quickly moved away from the bone dragon, fearing that they would be affected. After the blue giant ship was torn apart, several figures also appeared. The bone dragon opened its big mouth and quickly bit an old man and bit him into 2 pieces. Lu Chongsheng, don't even think about running. Qingyun saw Lu Chongsheng and hurriedly controlled the bone dragon. Although the bone dragon is huge, it is very fast. It flies flexibly, and its tail swept down like lightning, knocking down the fleeing Lu Chongsheng. Lu Chongsheng, who fell down, smashed a big hole in the square. Lu Chongsheng fell and saw Qingyun. Yundarin, so you are Qingyun? Lu Chongsheng shouted with a hideous face. Yes, you cheated me of 100 million purple crystal coins. It's time to pay it back. Qingyun flew over. His palm contains a vibration force and slapped Lu Chongsheng's face. Boom! At the same time as the vibration, a large amount of lightning burst out. Lu Chongsheng was sent flying dozens of meters. His face was crooked and his teeth fell on the ground. Qingyun quickly chased after him and grabbed Lu Chongsheng's hair. Vibration power roared out and he slapped Lu Chongsheng again. Boom! This earth-shaking sound also shocked everyone. Lu Chongsheng, the famous medicine Immortal Valley, was actually beaten by a spirit martial realm. Lu Chongsheng, Qingyun, just wanted to enter the medicine Immortal Valley to be a medicine farmer, but you secretly cheated, destroyed the assessment, and embezzled 100 million purple crystal coins from me. Qingyun said coldly as he delivered another slap. Lu Chongsheng's face was covered with blood. Although he was afraid, he thought that Qingyun would never dare to kill him. Qingyun, I once cheated you, so what? You are just a lowly thing. Letting you enter the medicine Immortal Valley to be a medicine farmer is a shame to our medicine immortal valley. Chapter 565. Star Monarch Lu Chongsheng also knows that his strength is not as good as Qin Yun, but he is fearless and very confident that Qin Yun will not dare to kill him. Qin Yun, if you have the guts, kill me. As far as the current situation is concerned, the guys in Immortal Weapon City are not the opponents of our medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Lu Chongsheng vomited blood and laughed. Qin Yun waved his palm and slapped him fiercely. Quickly take out 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bone. Dream on. I have already given the heavenly beast bone to the elders of the sect. Lu Chongsheng was beaten to the point that he couldn't speak clearly. His heart is full of resentment and anger. Qin Yun, you wait for me. I will definitely tear you into pieces. The pain I suffered today, I will double it. Qin Yun smiled coldly. Lu Chongsheng, you think too much. Do you think I will let you live? Why? Do you really want to kill me? If you're a smart person, you should use me to threaten the medicine Immortal Valley and let them stop. Only in this way can the people of your Immortal Weapon City survive. Lu Chongsheng said, you will die today. There will be no other variables. After Qin Yun finished, he beat Lu Chongsheng back and forth. The talismans that Lu Chongsheng could use have already been used up. After being injured by Qin Yun, he could not fight back and could only let himself be beaten. Qin Yun, you let Lu Chongsheng go. It is nothing for you to offend the Long family and the Yang family. If you offend our medicine Immortal Valley, you will die. There's an old man in the distance. The angry and cold voice came from far away. The tone is full of threat. Lu Chongsheng was grabbed by Qin Yun's collar, and his face has been beaten out of shape, but he still smiled coldly. Qin Yun, did you hear that? Our medicine Immortal Valley has a half-immortal level expert. Lu Chongsheng, you can't beat me in martial arts. You use weapons and also use talismans to injure the captain and Jian Meng. You owe me 200,000 genes of heavenly beast bone, and you still want to live? Also, you cheated me of 100 million purple crystal coins before and prevented me from entering the medicine Immortal Valley as a medicine farmer. This account is now settled. Qin Yun pinched Lu Chongsheng's neck and sneered. You don't have purple crystal coins, and you don't have a heavenly beast bone. If you refuse to apologize to Captain and Jian Meng, then you can only die. Qin Yun, you dare? Lu Chongsheng saw the killing intent in Qin Yun's eyes and immediately shouted. The people in the air looked at Qin Yun quietly. They all thought that Qin Yun did not dare to kill Lu Chongsheng. Qin Yun, stop. In the distance, an old man suddenly flew over. He is from the medicine Immortal Valley. At the same time, several elders of the Immortal Weapon City also flew over. Lu Chongsheng died. Qin Yun shouted coldly. The nine-sun divine hammer in his hand suddenly fell down, suppressing a vast and mighty flame. Boom! The flame poured into Lu Chongsheng's body. Even if he had a very strong fire Xian body, at this moment, it disappeared without a trace along with the flashing flames. Just now, everyone thought that Qin Yun did not dare to kill Lu Chongsheng, but now they are all wrong. Seeing Lu Chongsheng die, everyone was stunned. A young spirit martial realm with fire Xian body and fire totem was killed. People with this kind of qualifications are rare and very important for immortal sections. But now he has been destroyed. Qin Yun, you are dead. The old man from the medicine Immortal Valley roared in the distance and rushed over like a thunder. Chu Binyu also quickly rushed over and sent the old man from the medicine Immortal Valley flying with one palm. Medicine Immortal Valley. This is also the result of your greed. If you honestly hand over Lu Chongsheng's heavenly beast bone to us, then he will not die. As Qin Yun spoke, several old men from the medicine Immortal Valley suddenly flew down. They're all Xian martial realm martial monarchs. After they landed, they immediately launched a fierce attack. Fortunately, Chu Binyu's strength is very strong, and he can resist the attacks of these people. The people in the Immortal Weapon City are relatively few, and facing the people of the two immortal sects, they're also suppressed. It is very good that they can hold on until now. Suddenly, a few people flew in the air. Their aura is very strong, and at a glance, they know that they are at least Martial King. Which sex helpers are they? When everyone saw the Martial King appear, they all guessed. The people who came are not from any sect, but the people of the Divine Inscription Palace. Qinya knows one of them. That person used to be the great palace master of the martial, desolate, Divine Inscription Palace, named Han Fenghu. Han Fenghu is wearing a white robe and looks like a very spirited old man. When he arrived, he saw the chaos here, and his face was very dignified. "I am from the Divine Inscription Palace. Stop!" Han Fenghu shouted. Soon after, he and a few old men also entered several chaotic battlefields and separated the many martial monarchs and martial kings who were fighting with each other. After the chaos stopped, it finally calmed down. The people of the Medicine Immortal Valley glared at Qin Yun and said all kinds of threatening words to Qin Yun. At this time, all the old men of the Medicine Immortal Valley suddenly rushed to Qin Yun and launched a fierce attack together. Chu Binyu and the others quickly blocked the powerful energy that was flying over. The people of the Divine Inscription Palace did not expect the people of the Medicine Immortal Valley to not give face. The chaos just stopped and immediately began again. Qin Yun and others were also shrouded by tyrannical airflow. The people of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain and the Medicine Immortal Valley. At this time, a dozen people of the Medicine Immortal Valley could not resist. Even Chu Binyu was injured, but he still could not stop the people of the Medicine Immortal Valley. After an old man of the Medicine Immortal Valley rushed in, he did not go to Qin Yun. Instead, he rushed to Jianmeng and Kumingjiang. Jianmeng and Kumingjiang were injured, and it was very inconvenient for them to move. Although Qin Yun was next to them, he could not resist the fierce impact of a martial king. The martial king rushed over and did not attack. Instead, he used the fastest speed to grab Kumingjiang and then soared into the air. "Qin Yun, hand over your 4 ancient Dao tools, and I will let this guy go." The martial king of the Medicine Immortal Valley also went all out. The loss of the Medicine Immortal Valley is not small this time. So many disciples died. Now that they have a death feud with the Immortal Weapon City, he also wants to seek more benefits for the Medicine Immortal Valley. "Qin Yun, don't give it to him," Kumingjiang shouted. "If you let them get the ancient Dao tools, it will only make them stronger. Don't give it." Qin Yun's ancient Dao tools were obtained from the disciples of the Nine Suns sect. They are not good things. They're just ancient Dao runes. The people of the Immortal Weapon City are very angry, but they are few in number and can't do anything to the Medicine Immortal Valley. Qin Yun quickly took out 4 ancient Dao tools and looked at the people of the Divine Inscription Palace. He said to Han Fenghu, "This senior, you are from the Divine Inscription Palace. I will give you the Dao tools first. When that bastard releases the people, you will give him the Dao tools." Han Fenghu thought about it and nodded. Yes. Qin Yun is also worried that Kumingjiang will be killed, so he can only compromise. If the Dao tools are gone, they could be refined again. If Kumingjiang dies, he will feel very guilty. Lu Chongsheng was killed, and the people of the Medicine Immortal Valley also went crazy. They can kill Kumingjiang at any time. After Han Fenghu got the 4 ancient Dao tools, he looked at the old man of the Medicine Immortal Valley and said, "Our Divine Inscription Palace has the responsibility to mediate the conflict between the major immortal sects. After you get these 4 Dao tools, you must leave here immediately. If there is anything to talk about, the sect masters of both sides must come out to talk." After the martial king of the Medicine Immortal Valley released Kumingjiang, he also took out the 4 Dao tools. He laughed and said, "Qin Yun, you don't have the ancient Dao tools. Let's see how you can put a bounty on our Long family's patriarch." This martial king is from the Long family, which made Qin Yun hate the Long family even more. "Medicine Immortal Valley, your biggest mistake is to take away my Dao tools. You will definitely regret this in the future." Qin Yun's voice contains killing intent and resentment. "Ha ha! You Qin Yun is just a little thing. You dare to come to our Medicine Immortal Valley to make trouble? Not to mention you. Even the sect master of the immortal weapon city would not dare to come. The medicine Immortal Valley obtained 4 ancient Tao tools, which also made the people of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain extremely envious. They have lost a lot of disciples, but they didn't get anything at all. The medicine Immortal Valley obtained many heavenly beast bones from Lu Chongsheng, and now they have 4 ancient Tao tools. The people of the Immortal Weapon City quickly protected Qingyun, Kumingjiang, and Jianmeng. In order to prevent the fight from continuing, Han Fenghu also came to the Immortal Weapon City group. Immortal Weapon City. If you want to talk to our medicine Immortal Valley, you can only hand over Qingyun, otherwise we will not rest until we die. An old man from the medicine Immortal Valley, after leaving behind ruthless words, left with his people. The people of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are also very envious when they see Qin Yun's bone dragon. They also want to catch Kumingjiang and threaten Qin Yun to hand over the bone dragon. But they don't have this opportunity. Immortal Weapon City, you listen. Most of the dead disciples of our Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were killed by Qin Yun. As long as you hand over Qin Yun to us, the grievances between us can be written off. The people of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain said, if you think about it clearly, you can come to us and talk. The people of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain finished and quickly left. Jin Meng said angrily, it is obviously their fault. If they had not besieged us inside, Qin Yun would not have killed them. It's all because of this bastard, Lu Chongsheng. If you can't afford to lose, don't gamble with others. Kumingjiang yelled. He is very unhappy in his heart because Qin Yun lost 4 ancient Tao tools. Chu Binyu smiled. It's okay, at least everyone is alive now, and they have lost a lot of people. The bastards of the medicine Immortal Valley got Qin Yun's 4 ancient Tao tools. When Kumingjiang thought of this, he felt suffocated in his heart because Qin Yun gave away the Tao tools in order to save him. The one-eyed old man said, Mingjiang, go back and heal. Chu Binyu looked at Han Fenghu, cupped his hands, and said, thank you for coming in time, otherwise we would be in big trouble. This is our duty. Han Fenghu waved his hand, then looked at Qin Yun and said, can I talk to Qin Yun alone? I want to figure out what happened. This can also give me an explanation when I go back. Chu Binyu nodded. Han Fenghu brought Qin Yun and flew far into the sky, far away from the iceberg. Qin Yun, when you were in Martial Desolate, although you had a conflict with our Divine Inscription Palace, it was resolved later. Han Fenghu said, and Qin Yun nodded. So we are not enemies now. Han Fenghu smiled kindly. Senior Han, if you have something to say, just say it. Qin Yun saw that Han Fenghu must have something important to say. Chapter 566. Immortal Fire Pool Qin Yun has always been very worried about Yang Shuriwei. Now that he knows this news, he is relieved. Because those people can't catch Yang Shuriwei, they can only use this method. Qin Yun, I don't know the people of Immortal Weapon City, so I don't know what kind of people are in power in Immortal Weapon City. But I know that they're also looking for Inscription Spirit. I tell you this now, so that you can keep an eye on it. If there are people with bad intentions in Immortal Weapon City, maybe they will use you to threaten Yang Shuriwei. Han Fenghu has a certain understanding of Qin Yun and knows that Qin Yun has great potential, so he does not want to be enemies with Qin Yun. I will be careful. Qin Yun nodded. Also, if Immortal Weapon City gives up on you, you have to leave as soon as possible. Don't let Immortal Weapon City hand you over to Medicine Immortal Valley. Han Fenghu said, Immortal Weapon City should not be so weak, right? They are definitely not afraid of Medicine Immortal Valley. Even if they want to do something to me, they will only use me to threaten Sister Yang and will never hand me over to Medicine Immortal Valley. Qin Yun said, this is also true. In short, if there is any bad news for you, I will let Mu Feng inform you as soon as possible. You go back with the people of Immortal Weapon City now. If you want to live a better life in Immortal Weapon City, it is best to let them find your greatest value. Han Fenghu told Qin Yun. Qin Yun nodded and then flew with Han Fenghu. After Han Fenghu and the people of Immortal Weapon City exchanged a few words, they left with their people. Qin Yun, and they also boarded the flying ship of Immortal Weapon City and left. Many disciples of other sects have to continue to explore the heavenly beast desolate domain because they did not get any heavenly beast bones. Qin Yun is on the big ship, and he's also being stared at because he made a big mistake, and he is still a temporary disciple. If it is really necessary, Immortal Weapon City will also take him out to be the scapegoat. Now, Chu Binyu and Qin Yun are in a secret room. Villa Master, what will Immortal Weapon City do to me? Qin Yun looked at Chu Binyu's kind face and asked in a low voice. I don't know. In short, you are a disciple of my Saber Sword Villa. No matter what, I will protect you. Chu Binyu smiled. Immortal Weapon City should not give up on you directly. After all, you are an inscription master with great potential. Villa Master, I heard Lu Chongsheng say that there are half-immortals in Medicine Immortal Valley. Qin Yun whispered, Is there any in Immortal Weapon City? Martial Monarch is above Martial King. Martial Emperors could be said to be the pinnacle of human strength. If you go any higher, you can become an immortal and head to the Immortal Desolate. Speaking of the Immortal Desolate, Chu Binyu let out a long sigh. Although I am also a martial emperor, I don't know how to become an immortal. There is a special situation between humans and immortals, and that is the half-immortal realm. My current goal is to reach the half-immortal realm. That's why I want to enter the immortal sect. This way I can absorb even more immortal energy. At the same time, I can also ask the seniors who have entered the half-immortal realm for guidance. Are there many people in the half-immortal realm? Qin Yun asked. Not many, but not few. These guys are always thinking about opening the gate of the Immortal Desolate and entering the Immortal Desolate. Chu Binyu smiled. Don't think so much now. Step into the spirit martial realm first. There is still a long way to go in the future. Qin Yun felt that he was about to enter the spirit martial realm. He got a lot of herbs to refine bone spirit Xian pills. As long as he has time, he can refine them into pills. The flying ship flew very fast, and it didn't take long to return to the sky above the Immortal Weapon City. Many temporary disciples, because they found some heavenly beast bones, were able to smoothly become outer sect disciples of the Immortal Weapon City. Qin Yun obtained 60,000 genes of heavenly beast bones, which is a lot. As for the role of heavenly beast bones, even Chu Binyu is not very clear. It is said that in addition to refining Dao tools and alchemy, there are other great uses. The role of heavenly beast bones. It is said that only those in the half-immortal realm know. The interior of the Immortal Weapon Palace is very large. There are many large and small mountains, like a small mountain range. As long as you have not reached the spirit martial realm, you can only be an outer sect disciple. After breaking through to the spirit martial realm, you can become a main sect disciple and enter the center of the Immortal Weapon Palace to cultivate. Although it is the outer sect, the buildings of the outer sect are also very imposing, and the immortal energy is also richer than outside the palace. Over the years, there have been many outer sect disciples. They are all excellent disciples absorbed from the 5-star sects or other second-rate sections. As long as they have not stepped into the spirit martial realm, they can only stay here. Many people are originally very good, but they can't cross the chasm and can't enter the spirit martial realm. So they can only be an outer sect disciple. If they are old and become a main sect disciple again, they will be laughed at. After Qin Yun entered the Immortal Weapon Palace, Chu Binyu has been watching. The matter of the heavenly beast desolate domain quickly spread throughout the Immortal Weapon City, and the disciples in the Immortal Weapon Palace also had various reactions after learning about it. Some people think that Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are too arrogant and need to be taught a lesson. They all think that Qin Yun and Kum Mingjiang did the right thing and killed when they should be killed. As for some people, they criticize Qin Yun for provoking such a huge matter. Most of the disciples felt that Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain were wrong and supported Qin Yun. Qin Yun has tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones to contribute, but because of a series of major events, the immortal weapon city does not accept him as a disciple and also caused many elders in the palace to dispute. The elders are divided into two factions. One side wants to accept Qin Yun and affirm Qin Yun's rebellion against Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. In order to demonstrate to Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain, the other faction thinks that Qin Yun is rejected and talks with Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. The two factions are arguing endlessly. Although there are more elders who want to accept Qin Yun, the elders who refuse to accept Qin Yun are not willing to be outdone. Qin Yun is in the outer sect disciple area of the palace and can only stay in a small house all day, watched by Chu Binyu. He can't leave here until the results come out. Chu Binyu is also worried that the Immortal Weapon City will hand over Qin Yun, so he is here to watch Qin Yun. If the Immortal Weapon City refuses to accept Qin Yun as a disciple, he can take Qin Yun away in time and make other arrangements. Qin Yun is in the room, lying on the bed. What is the use of those heavenly beast bones? Qin Yun is very curious about this because he has nearly 300,000 genes of heavenly beast bones. There are tens of thousands of genes that he quietly took away when he entered the warehouse. The remaining 200,000 genes were obtained from the captain of the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. The tens of thousands of genes of heavenly beast bones that he handed over to the Immortal Weapon City were won by him in various competitions and were stored in Kumingjiang. I really don't know. Ling Yun has also been thinking about this issue. Don't you know everything? Qin Yun curled his lips. Well, I admit that I don't understand some things, but I understand most things better. Ling Yun tenderly snorted. You kid, don't look down on me. Chu Binyu suddenly knocked on the door and said, Qin Yun, the results are out. Come and listen. Qin Yun hurriedly walked out of the room and saw the one-eyed old man. This one-eyed old man has a good relationship with Kumingjiang and is also an elder in the palace. Qin Yun, our sect master is back. He said to keep you as a disciple. The one-eyed old man said. And Qin Yun smiled. He secretly guessed that the sect master of Immortal Weapon City had just returned from the remote Moon Mountain range and also went to compete for the Star Lord Inscription Spirit. But the people who opposed it did not agree and finally made a compromise, that is, let you accept the punishment. And there is no reward for handing over the heavenly beast bones. The one-eyed old man supported Qin Yun to stay, so he was very dissatisfied with the result, but there was no other way. What punishment do I have to accept? Qin Yun asked. You have to be hung on the immortal fire pool for 7 days and 7 nights. The one-eyed old man said. No. Chu Binyu slammed the table. Not to mention Qin Yun. Even if it is the people of Spirit Martial Realm, how many can bear this punishment? If Qin Yun can survive, there will be a weak period of 2 or 3 years, which will affect his foundation. The one-eyed old man whispered. It's all that group of bastards, the main Long family, Tian family, Yang family, and Yu family, these 4 clans united against Qin Yun. In the major sects, there are children of the 5 clans. Even the Immortal Weapon City is no exception. Of course, these family forces in the immortal sects only have half of the power. Otherwise, Qin Yun will be handed over by them. I am willing to accept the punishment. Although Qin Yun was dissatisfied with the result, he could only do so now. What he has to do now is not to let the family forces in the Immortal Weapon City find excuses. As long as he accepts the punishment, they can no longer say anything in the future. Rest assured, my ability to bear is stronger than many Spirit Martial Realm. Qin Yun smiled. Lu Chongsheng has Fire Xian body, and he is still in the Spirit Martial Realm, but he is not your match. Chu Binyu stared at Qin Yun and asked with a smile. Qin Yun, you tell me honestly, are you hiding something? Qin Yun, in the Immortal Weapon City, most of the elders support you. You don't have to worry about those family forces causing trouble. You can rest assured and say it. The one-eyed old man also said, this is a very realistic thing. As long as we know your value, we can do our best to protect you. Well, I will say it, don't spread it out. Qin Yun thought about it and said. The one-eyed old man and Chu Binyu nodded. Qin Yun felt that his matter in the martial desolate should be spread out soon, so it is okay to say some of his own things. I have heavenly lion bloodline and heavenly lion totem, Qin Yun said. Is this true? Although Chu Binyu was prepared, he was also shocked by this and found it hard to believe. As Qin Yun spoke, he took off his upper body clothes and then let the heavenly lion totem emerge. One must know that other people's totem runes can't be hidden. However, Qin Yun can control his totem freely. The one-eyed old man and Chu Binyu were shocked and opened their mouths wide. Chapter 567. Family forces. The strength shown by Qin Yun, the one-eyed old man, and Chu Binyu, while shocked, are also full of joy. If this is the case, then we will support you even more. The one-eyed old man laughed. In the Immortal Weapon City, there are two forces. One is those family forces, the other is our non-family groups. You should also know that those family members have very strong inheritance. Some have bloodlines, some have totems or strong physiques. And the disciples who have just joined the Immortal Weapon City, as long as they are good seedlings of their family, they will tend to cultivate with various resources to strengthen their power in the sect. Qin Yun frowned. Does our Immortal Weapon City's sect master not care about this kind of thing? As long as our Immortal Weapon City has powerful martial kings and martial emperors and excellent disciples continue to increase, the sect master will not care about these battles. In fact, in other sects, the situation is roughly the same. The competition is cruel and can also screen out more excellent experts. Now, you have Heavenly Lion Bloodline and Heavenly Lion Totem. Then you can represent our young talents to fight against the young disciples of family forces. The one-eyed old man said with some excitement. What about Lu Jingming? She is young and also a Xian inscription master. Which faction does she belong to? Qin Yun asked. She is from the Lawkeeper Hall. She does not belong to either faction. The Lawkeeper Hall is external and does not participate in internal affairs. It is managed by the sect master and the great elder. The one-eyed old man said. Lu Jingming's situation is quite special. Even in the Lawkeeper Hall, she is treated specially and has a very high status. Chu Binyu said. I also investigated Lu Jingming, but the Lawkeeper Hall is very mysterious and I can't find anything at all. Qin Yun did not feel surprised at all because Lu Jingming has an immortal body. This kind of transcendent talent must be the sect master and a group of super old guys are responsible for guiding. That Long Yuedao actually wanted to marry Lu Jingming before. He really did not die. Lu Jingming's immortal body talent must be concealed. This kind of thing is too shocking, so she will definitely be well protected. Ling Yun said, natural immortal body. Even in the Immortal Desolate, there is such treatment. Qin Yun now has a general understanding of the Immortal Weapon City. When will my punishment begin? Asked Qin Yun. If you agree, we can start now. Chu Binyu said. After learning that Qin Yun has the Heavenly Lion bloodline, he and the one-eyed old man were relieved. Qin Yun, don't worry. I will inform the elders on our side about this. If everything goes well, we could get a few bone spirit Xian pills for you. The one-eyed old man said. Qin Yun was alarmed. He never expected to receive such good treatment. Of course, I'm not giving this to you for free. What you have to do in the future is to suppress the arrogance of the family forces. The one-eyed old man said. I have a great enmity with the Long and Yang families, and they wish they could get rid of me. In that case, I will definitely find opportunities to suppress them in the future. Qin Yun nodded and said. After the discussion, Qin Yun followed the one-eyed old man and Chu Binyu and left the small house for the southern district of the Immortal Weapon Palace. The southern district of the Immortal Weapon Palace is a small town with many ancient buildings and streets. Many Outer Sect disciples come and go here. The Outer Sect disciples are mostly 9th level Martial Dao Realm, although there are also Spirit Martial Realm. It is because they are too old to enter the main gate and can only serve as a small steward outside. This vast Immortal Weapon Palace is also a city in the city of Immortal Weapon City. Although it is called a palace, it does not look like a palace. It is said that a long time ago, it was called Immortal Weapon Sect. Later, I don't know how it was changed to a palace. There must be other reasons for this. In the middle of the outer sect area, there is a huge pool with a width of 200 or 300 meters. This pool is burning with flames, which are used by outer sect disciples to burn weapons and make weapons stronger. The flame of the immortal fire pool absorbs immortal energy through the formation. So the flame is also very special, and the weapons that have been burned will become stronger. Also, it can be used by outer sect disciples for cultivation. The immortal fire pool is located in the middle of a huge square, burning with a white-yellow flame. In the open space, dozens of meters away from the edge of the immortal fire pool, there are many outer sect disciples sitting cross-legged, absorbing the hot air released for cultivation. When Qin Yun came here, he saw many outer sect disciples who were seriously cultivating. He secretly felt it and could also absorb a little hot, immortal energy. If he absorbs it into his body for cultivation, it can indeed enhance the strength of his body. The 9th level martial Dao realm is the stage of cultivating the bone spirit. It requires various methods of stimulation to successfully open the spirit. Cultivating next to the immortal fire pool, there have been many examples of successful opening of the spirit. So many disciples will come here for a few days as long as they have time. When they saw Qin Yun coming, they all whispered, "Is this Qin Yun?" You have to be hung in the center of the immortal fire pool for 7 days and 7 nights to become an outer sect disciple. He is a troublemaker. If he wants to become a disciple of our immortal weapon city, naturally we have to warn him and let him not mess around in the future. What did he cause trouble? It is clear that Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are wrong first. When I was outside, the disciples of those 2 sects didn't stop yelling at us. That's right, Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are asking for a lesson. Qin Yun taught them a lesson. This is very beautiful. Who told him to offend the Long family and the Yang family in our immortal weapon city? These family forces are very strong. I hope he can get through it. If our immortal weapon city does not accept him as a disciple, we will definitely be laughed at by Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain for being weak. After accepting Qin Yun, it means that our immortal weapon city is not afraid of them. Qin Yun walked on the road and heard many disciples talking. He probably knew that many outer sect disciples did not like those family forces, and they did not like Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. They were bullied by the disciples of the family forces inside the immortal weapon city. When they were outside, they were bullied by the disciples of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain. Qin Yun, however, dared to confront these forces head-on, so he is also supported by many people. In the middle of the immortal fire pool, there is a pillar. Qin Yun's hands are tied, and he hangs on the stone pillar, and his back is attached to the burning pillar. This looks like torture. Qin Yun also felt a little uncomfortable, and now he can only endure it. Chu Binyu also watched from the outside to prevent other people from making trouble. Little Yun, the immortal fire of this immortal fire pool should be used well. Ling Yun is suddenly said. How to use it? Qin Yun asked quickly. Of course, it is to stabilize your current heavenly lion Xian body. Ling Yun said, your heavenly lion Xian body has just been formed. If you temper it well, the effect will definitely be better. How to temper it? Qin Yun felt that the heavenly lion Xian body is not strong enough. Later, Ling Yun controlled Qin Yun's nether sun martial spirit and carefully introduced the flame of the immortal fire pool into his body to temper the heavenly lion Xian body. In the future, you will have to integrate the heavenly lion bee soul as a bone spirit soul. Now you will first temper the heavenly lion Xian body, and then it will be easier to integrate the heavenly lion bee soul. Qin Yun was hung and roasted by fire for another 7 days. He also took advantage of this time to cultivate. Ling Yun controlled the nether sun martial spirit and introduced the flame to temper the body, and the effect was very good. Although Qin Yun felt a little uncomfortable, He could feel that the heavenly lion Xian body seemed to be fully nourished, which could make his whole body stronger. 2 days passed, and suddenly more than a dozen arrogant young people came. These dozen young people are all dressed in fine clothes. They're spirit martial realm, and they're martial down 9th level. At first glance, you know that they're the children of those families. Although those families are very powerful, they can't just put their disciples in. If you want to enter the Immortal Weapon City, you have to pass the assessment. And it is the Lawkeeper Hall that is responsible for the assessment. Therefore, the disciples of those clans that seemed very arrogant were actually very capable. The outer sect disciples who are cultivating here saw the arrival of this group of family disciples, and they all left to make way for them. You are a group of garbage, cultivating in this place all day. It's no use at all. It's very annoying. A proud man in blue clothes, holding a folding fan, sneered contemptuously. Many outer sect disciples are very angry, but they dare not say anything. When Chu Binyu saw these family disciples coming, he also frowned and watched from the side. As long as they don't go in and attack Qin Yun, he won't say anything. Isn't that Qin Yun? Hanging like a dead pig, it's really satisfying. His 4 ancient Dao tools have been taken away. Let's see how he can still put a bounty on our Long family's patriarch. This arrogant guy offended Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain and gave us trouble. This bastard has been roasted for 7 days and 7 nights. Even if he doesn't become a roasted pig, he will have to lie in bed for a few years. This group of family disciples mocked and ridiculed Qin Yun. They came here to provoke Qin Yun. Do you have people from the Yang family and the Long family? Qin Yun suddenly asked. I am from the Long family. I am from the Yang family. Someone answered immediately. Everyone was also secretly surprised. Qin Yun looks very energetic. You know that he was hung there and roasted for 2 days. Go back and tell your patriarch that I, Qin Yun, will use the golden ape totem to put a bounty on their 2 dog heads. Qin Yun laughed. You should know the value of the golden ape totem, right? Everyone suddenly burst into an uproar. That is a very good totem rune. The value is not lower than that of the ancient Dao tools, and even slightly better. Everyone knows that when Qin Yun and Long Yuethao competed, he won by carving the golden ape totem. The golden ape totem is a garbage totem in the eyes of Qin Yun, and he is not distressed at all. The disciples of the Long family and the Yang family suddenly looked very ugly, because their patriarch still has to continue to hide. Come, let's enhance the flame of the immortal fire pool together. We want to burn weapons. A disciple of the Long family took out a weapon, placed it in the immortal fire pool, and then injected energy into it to make the flame of the immortal fire pool more fierce. More than a dozen other family disciples also came over and injected energy into it. Soon, the flame of the immortal fire pool became fierce. The original flame was only half a meter high, but now it is more than 1 meter high. Chapter 568. 568 Chapter 568 Flame Confrontation. After Chu Binyu saw it, he quickly came over and shouted, Are you deliberately stirring up trouble? The flame of the immortal fire pool is relatively mild in ordinary times. If needed, it can be injected with energy to make the flame of the immortal fire pool more fierce. These family children, more than a dozen people injected energy together. It is obvious that they deliberately enhanced the flame in the immortal fire pool. Originally, the normal immortal fire pool flame is not too terrible. It can be endured. Now that it has been enhanced so much, it is even more difficult to endure. Don't you see that we are using the flame of the immortal fire pool? Is there a rule that we are not allowed to use the immortal fire pool? Isn't it just punishing a person? Because of this reason, we are forbidden to use the immortal fire pool. This is too inhumane. Chu Binyu heard the words of these disciples, and the kind face became serious and angry. What the hell do you want? He clenched his fist and wanted to slap all these family disciples in front of him to death. We are refining weapons. A young man laughed. He did put the weapon into the immortal fire pool. Chu Binyu, you're just a guest elder. Aren't you meddling too much in this matter? A man in luxurious red clothes sneered and said, You just obediently watch from the side and prepare to collect Qin Yun's corpse. Why are you talking so much nonsense? The guest elder really has no status, but it is relatively free. However, Chu Binyu's strength is still very strong. You stop quickly, Chu Binyu said coldly. Why? Is there any rule? You have the guts to stop us. A young man sneered. Chu Binyu suddenly waved his hand and hit a wave of air, which swept all the dozen family disciples out. The flame in the immortal fire pool suddenly weakened a lot. This made those family disciples angry. Chu Binyu just gently took them away and did not hurt them. This is in the immortal weapon city. If they are injured, Chu Binyu will also be attacked by the elders of those family forces. At this time, several old men arrived. They were all elders of the family forces. There were elders of both the outer sect and the main sect, and they had more power and influence. Subsequently, more than a dozen young disciples came. All of them are the disciples of those families. Continue. A blue-clothed elder from a family force said coldly. Although the strength of these elders is not as good as Chu Binyu, they're not afraid at all. Elder Chu, please don't interfere with our disciples using the immortal fire pool. The elder in blue looked at Chu Binyu and said in a threatening tone, Why are you doing this? Is it not enough to punish Qin Yun for 7 days? Chu Binyu asked with a trace of anger in his voice. None of the clan elders answered. Now, nearly 30 family disciples are constantly injecting energy into the immortal fire pool to enhance the flame. The flames burned very high in an instant, reaching a height of several meters. Qin Yun's lower body was completely covered in flames from his shoulders up. The flames were very strong. At that moment, Qin Yun found them extremely hot. He could only mobilize all the power in his body to protect himself from being burned by the flames. Chu Binyu looked at Qin Yun, who was hung. He was anxious and angry and wanted to fly over. If you save Qin Yun, you will not be able to complete this punishment, and he will not be able to enter the immortal weapon city. The blue-clothed elder said coldly. Chu Binyu also seems to understand the intention of these people, which is to prevent Qin Yun from entering the immortal weapon city. Qin Yun, who was burned by the flames, finally couldn't bear it and screamed in pain. Qin Yun, can you hold on? Or don't enter the immortal weapon city first. Wait for the opportunity later. Chu Binyu looked at Qin Yun in pain and asked quickly, I can persist. Qin Yun gritted his teeth. I will not let the plan of this group of traitors succeed. Chu Binyu's eyes also showed a look of admiration and nodded. Good. You must persist. The disciples here are also cursing the family disciples in their hearts. They actually want to torture Qin Yun like this. When they saw Qin Yun's strong and unyielding spirit, they were deeply infected and secretly admired him. Under such a fierce flame, Qin Yun can actually bear it. This kind of strength is also shocking. The elders of those family forces thought that Qin Yun was wearing a Dao tool armor, but now it can be seen that Qin Yun's upper body clothes were burned. His whole body is wrapped in flames. At this time, some people also found that the surface of Qin Yun's body was wrapped in a layer of black things. It's a black flame. Is it a black fire martial spirit? It should be true. This mysterious black fire is really powerful. It can actually resist such a fierce flame burning. After everyone saw it, they all marveled. The black flames released by Qin Yun are like clothes wrapping around his body. This is the strongest Nether Sun fire released by Ling Yun through the 9 life marks under the control of the Nether Sun martial spirit. Chu Binyu also felt very surprised and said, Qin Yun, if you survive, you will be an outer sect disciple. With your strength, you will definitely be able to win a lot of resources. Stepping into the spirit martial realm is just around the corner. After the elders of the family forces heard this, their faces changed and then quickly walked over. They also injected energy into the immortal fire pool. Hoo. After several martial kings injected energy, the flame of the immortal fire pool rose sharply and was more than 10 meters high. Now, Qin Yun can't be seen at all. You bunch of bastards, just you wait. Qin Yun roared loudly. Villa Master, which family do those elders come from? Yang family, Long family, and Tian family. Chu Binyu saw that the flame is so strong, and he could not help but worry. Qin Yun, why don't you give up? The other disciples all felt that it was a pity. They also know that those family forces are determined to prevent Qin Yun from entering the Immortal Weapon City. Villa Master, help me contact Immortal Fox Elder Hu Jingxian of Demon Moon Island. I want her to reissue the bounty. I want to use the Golden Ape Totem to place a bounty on the heads of the 3 families in the Proud Star State. Qin Yun's angry voice shook from the sea of fire. The square was shrouded in a hot air, and everyone took a breath of cold air. Qin Yun really wants to use the Golden Ape Totem to place a bounty on the heads of the 3 families. You know, the demand for totems is greater for those powerful inscription masters. Even the Dao inscription masters want to collect more totem runes. This Golden Ape Totem is also relatively good. There must be Dao inscription masters who want it. The faces of the disciples and elders of the family forces changed. Qin Yun, don't worry, I will definitely help you contact Elder Fox. Chu Binyu wanted Qin Yun to give up the punishment and temporarily not enter the Immortal Weapon City. However, Qin Yun is very persistent. The more those family forces don't want him to enter, the more he wants to enter. Qin Yun, you should give up entering the Immortal Weapon City. A guy like you is not worthy of being with us. A family disciple shouted. You are the enemy of our Long family. We must not let you enter the Immortal Weapon City. Many of our Yang family members have been killed by you. If you enter the Immortal Weapon City, you will definitely pose a threat to us. Qin Yun, you will be burned for 7 days like this. Even if you don't die, you will be seriously injured and you will not be able to recover for decades. The people of those family forces are threatening Qin Yun to give up entering the Immortal Weapon City. You bastards, don't even think about succeeding. Qin Yun's angry roar came out. Villa Master, help me write down the names of these old fellows. Writing down their names is obviously going to put a bounty on them. If they use the Golden Ape Totem as a bounty, they will definitely be in great danger. This forced the elders to withdraw their power, and if they continue, Qin Yun will be burned to death. If they do too much, the other party will definitely use this matter to deal with them. The flames suddenly weaken a lot. Qin Yun also revealed his upper body, but the flame is still very fierce. Only those family disciples are still injecting energy to strengthen the flame. At that instant, an adorable young lady with a slender figure and an elegant beauty walked toward them with a bottle in her hand. Seeing the girl coming, many young men are excited. Isn't this Lu Jingming? What is she doing here? So beautiful and cute. I really want to touch her face. She is really beautiful like a fairy, and she is also a Xian inscription master of the spirit martial realm. She is talented. Seeing Lu Jingming coming, everyone was amazed. Those family disciples also smiled and looked at Lu Jingming, who was walking over. Junior sister, why are you frowning? What happened? Senior brother will help you solve it. What's the matter? Tell me, I will help you. Junior sister, don't be unhappy. If you need help, just say it. The group of family disciples also know that Lu Jingming is very simple and naive, so they all show hypocritical smiles and say hypocritical words. They all want to capture Lu Jingming's heart, because as long as they marry such a talented girl, they can struggle for many years. Really? Can you help me? Lu Jingming hugged the bottle and asked quickly with a smile on her face. You say, what can I do? Asked the young man. The flame here is too strong. Can you make the flame a little smaller? Lu Jingming pointed to the immortal fire pool, frowned slightly, and asked in a low voice. The group of family disciples suddenly became dumbfounded. Lu Jingming suddenly came here and actually wanted to help Qin Yun. We are refining weapons. It is more important, so we can't do it. A young man, seeing the elder's face, said quickly. Other family disciples also could not do it, because it is very important to prevent Qin Yun from entering the Immortal Weapon City. Lu Jingming snorted softly and whispered angrily. A group of liars. You said you can help me, but you can't do it. As long as you don't refine weapons, isn't it all right? She did not know that this group of people was targeting Qin Yun and really thought that they were refining weapons. You are all liars. I will never pay attention to you again. Lu Jingming snorted softly, then leaped lightly and swept to the immortal fire pool. Chapter 569. Warm immortal dew. When he was in the divine inscription palace, Qin Yun helped Lu Jingming and her grandfather to defeat Long Yuedao and his son. Everyone had heard of this matter. Lu Jingming is so simple. Now that she knows that Qin Yun is being punished here, it is normal to care about him. What people didn't expect is that Lu Jingming is not afraid of the flame and flew in directly. You stop quickly. Lu Jingming is in the Lawkeeper Hall. If anything happens to her, even if you die 10 times, you will not be able to quell the anger of the Lawkeeper Hall. Chu Binyu said coldly. The elders of the family forces also quickly told the disciples to stop. They are all very clear about the importance of Lu Jingming to the Lawkeeper Hall. Lu Jingming saw that the flame inside weakened and also showed a happy smile. Qin Yun, who was hung, suddenly felt a lot more comfortable. The black flame wrapped around his body gradually faded, and he was still wearing a pair of ragged pants. Young Master Qin. Lu Jingming saw Qin Yun like this and shouted with a distressed face. Miss Lu, what are you doing here? It's very hot here. You should go out quickly. Qin Yun did not expect this silly girl to come to see him. I'll get you some water to drink. I made some juice. It's very sweet. Lu Jingming quickly took out a cup and poured a cup of juice from the bottle in her hand. But as soon as the juice was poured out, it evaporated into mist. Where's the juice? Lu Jingming said and continued to pour. Several times in a row, the small bottle of juice was evaporated. Qin Yun laughed involuntarily. It's too hot here. The juice disappeared as soon as it came out. Lu Jingming is very annoyed. Her cute little face is full of guilt and said, Young Master Qin, I'm sorry. I'm too stupid to protect the juice. It's okay. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Qin Yun smiled. Lu Jingming is not afraid of the immortal fire here. She doesn't feel hot, so she didn't expect the juice to evaporate. Many people are secretly jealous of Qin Yun. He can actually let Lu Jingming personally deliver the juice. Young Master Qin, you are hurt. Lu Jingming frowned in distress. Qin Yun's dry upper body. The skin is cracking and falling. It is very scary. I'll be fine soon. You should go back. Qin Yun did not want Lu Jingming to stay in this environment. Lu Jingming did not go back. Instead, she took out a bottle of black ointment and applied it on Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun did not know what kind of ointment it was, but he suddenly felt his body become very cool. This silly girl, she actually wasted a bottle of profound level ointment. A clan elder's eyebrows twitched. That's the Black Yuan Profound Ointment that can heal injuries very quickly. Lu Jingming had a cheerful smile on her face. She used her small and delicate hands to apply the ointment on Qin Yun's body. She giggled and said, It's as fun as mud. Soon, Qin Yun's body is covered with the black ointment. The pain on Qin Yun's body also gradually disappeared. He felt that his injuries are recovering very quickly. Seeing this scene, the disciples of the clans were extremely jealous, because Lu Jingming is very gentle and considerate to Qin Yun. Soon after, Lu Jingming took out a bottle of water and pointed it at Qin Yun's mouth. She said, Young Master Qin, it's so hot here. Quickly drink some water. This is the immortal dew I collected. It's so precious I won't drink it. I'll leave it for you to drink. Qin Yun is very grateful to this innocent little girl. This reminded him of Qi Milin, a girl who is almost the same. This is useless to me. Quickly drink it. Lu Jingming pouted and said with some sadness, Am I very annoying? When I was a child, others always found me annoying and didn't play with me. Of course not. Qin Yun smiled and said, You are so concerned about me. I am very grateful to you. Last time you helped me and my grandfather out of trouble and even gave my grandfather great benefits. I also want to thank you. quickly drink the immortal dew. I will be very happy like this. Lu Jingming saw that Qin Yun is very grateful to her and is very happy. Qin Yun remembered that Lu Jingming has an immortal body. The immortal dew is indeed useless to her. He opened his mouth and drank the refreshing and delicious immortal dew. When everyone saw Qin Yun drinking the immortal dew in big gulps, they secretly swallowed their saliva. Immortal dew. She actually has a big bottle. Where did she get so much immortal dew? This kind of immortal dew is a good thing to refine earth-level pills. She actually gave it to Qin Yun to drink. This prodigal girl, the Lawkeeper Hall, is too biased. Why do they give her so many good things? Qin Yun, this bastard, I must cripple him. The eyes of the disciples of the clans turned red with jealousy. They clenched their teeth and wished they could snatch the bottle away. Not long after, Lu Jingming sighed with hidden bitterness. There is too little immortal dew. It's all gone. I will collect more next time and make juice for young Master Lu to drink enough. After drinking a large jar of immortal dew, Qin Yun felt very comfortable, and his Xian body seemed to have been tempered better. Jingming, thank you, Qin Yun said with a smile. You're welcome. We are friends now. I still have things to do. I have to go back. Also, congratulations on becoming a disciple of Immortal Weapon City. I will be your senior sister in the future. Lu Jingming smiled sweetly and happily. Senior sister, take care. Qin Yun smiled. Lu Jingming flew out of the immortal fire pool and then rolled her eyes at the family disciples. She snorted and said, You know that young Master Qin is being punished, and you deliberately strengthen the flame to make him uncomfortable. You're all bad guys. I hate you. The group of family disciples wanted to say something, but they couldn't speak. After Lu Jingming left, the family disciples looked at Qin Yun with anger and jealousy. Continue to burn. The elders of the family forces saw Lu Jingming go away and quickly shouted. The flame rose again and drowned Qin Yun in it. Chu Binyu saw that Qin Yun still had black plaster on his body and was relieved. Qin Yun drank the immortal dew and was wrapped in plaster, so he was not so afraid of the flame. Xiao Yun, Lu Jingming has an immortal body, so she can collect a lot of immortal dew. The so-called immortal dew is just dew with immortal energy, which will help you to a certain extent. Ling Yun said, This is really a lovely, silly girl. Well, the same as little Male Yin. I don't know how little Male Yin is now. Qin Yun sighed in his heart and missed Chi Male Yin very much. Don't worry, she will be fine. She has the protection of the immortal graveyard diagram, and I suspect that she also has an immortal body. Her martial spirit is also very strange. Ling Yun said, Chi Male Yin is young, and her cultivation is very high. Obviously, because of the immortal graveyard diagram, she had a fortuitous encounter. The same is true for Xiao Yuelon. Continue to temper your Xian body and consolidate your tender Xian body. Ling Yun continued to guide the immortal fire into Qin Yun's body through the Nether Sun martial spirit. Under the control of Ling Yun the immortal fire cooperated with Qin Yun to circulate the Star Sun Heart Sutra to temper his body, and the heavenly lion Xian body was also a little stable. Yin, what is the difference between the immortal fire here and the one I condensed last time? Qin Yun asked curiously. The immortal fire here is relatively weak. It just carries a little immortal energy, and most of it is still absorbing 9 sun spirit energy to burn. Ling Yun said, The immortal fire I helped you condense last time was condensed with pure immortal energy. It is very different. In order to prevent Qin Yun from entering the Immortal Weapon City, those family forces are also fighting hard, because they are very clear that with Qin Yun's talent, once he enters the immortal sect, it will not take long for him to step into the spirit martial realm. If he becomes a Xian inscription master, it is not something they can shake. At present, the Lawkeeper Hall has not personally come out to receive Qin Yun. Obviously, they also feel that Qin Yun's talent is not enough to become a disciple of the Lawkeeper Hall. If Qin Yun steps into the spirit martial realm, it is hard to say. At that time, even if Qin Yun can't enter the Lawkeeper Hall, he can get a lot of resources. On the side of the family forces, although there are many disciples with good qualifications, but compared to Qin Yun, they're much worse. According to various sources, they can determine that Qin Yun has a black martial spirit and totem rune. The only shortcoming is that he only has one spirit vein. However, one spirit vein does not seem to have any effect on Qin Yun, which is also very strange. A few days passed, and the family disciples kept injecting energy into the immortal fire pool every day to strengthen the flame to burn Qin Yun. Now, the 7 days were about to pass. However, Qin Yun does not seem to retreat and can still persist. No matter how the flame is enhanced, Qin Yun is unmoved and does not give up the idea of entering the immortal weapon city. Qin Yun, 7 days have passed. In these 7 days, your body must have been ravaged. Even if you enter the immortal weapon city, you can't recover to the peak in a few years. An old man of the Long family sneered. You are such a scum you can't set off any big waves in the immortal weapon city. Many people are regretful. Qin Yun was burned by this level of flame for a few days. Even if he could survive, his body would definitely be greatly damaged, and he would certainly be no different from a mummy. Lu Jingming has not been here in the past few days. She should know that you have no future, so she did not come. Ha ha ha, Qin Yun. Even Lu Jingming, this stupid girl, knows that you are hopeless. Qin Yun, you look like a mummy at this time. It will definitely scare her. Really, Lu Jingming is really a fool. She actually wasted black yuan xian ointment and a bottle of immortal dew on him. The disciples of the various families couldn't help but laugh out loud as they watched the raging flames. Time is up. After Chu Binyu calculated the time, he quickly flew in and brought out Qin Yun, who was hung in the middle. After Qin Yun was brought out, his entire body was emitting hot air. His upper body was covered in curvaceous and well-built muscles. Steam was surging out of them. The outer sect disciples watching in the distance saw that Qin Yun still maintained a beautiful and strong muscle and were shocked. The family disciples who thought that Qin Yun had become a mummy were speechless, as if they had been slapped in the face. Sorry to let you down. Qin Yun smiled. Chu Binyu also entered the middle of the immortal fire pool and put away the chain. Chapter 570. 570 Chapter 570 Martial Arts Struggle. Qin Yun also knows that in the immortal weapon city, there are strict laws. As long as it is violated, the consequences are very serious. At this time, the family disciples suddenly attacked him, obviously violating the rules of the immortal weapon city. Those few disciples' attacks are all very fierce. They attacked Qin Yun's vital points. Qin Yun's heart has long been very angry. Now being attacked like this, he also fought back fiercely. Boom, boom, boom. Many palms hit the attacking family disciples. All of them vomited blood. The disciple who was hit by Qin Yun, the internal body of the body burst into a crackling sound, and all the bones were broken by Qin Yun. Qin Yun, you are so ruthless. Later, there were several spirit martial realm disciples who attacked Qin Yun fiercely. You attacked me first. Qin Yun was angry and anxious. He was obviously attacked ferociously, but he was said to be ruthless. Chu Binyu also quickly turned back. Qin Yun and the two spirit martial realm disciples also exchanged a few blows and were separated by Chu Binyu. At the same time, suddenly two black-robed, middle-aged men flew over. They looked at the injured family disciples, and their faces were gloomy. Inside the immortal weapon palace is not allowed to fight. You have all violated the rules. A middle-aged man looked at Qin Yun coldly and said, These two black-robed men are the people of the Lawkeeper Hall. Two brothers, our disciples, just want to compare notes with Qin Yun. I didn't know that he was so ruthless and directly shattered their bones. A family elder also quickly came out and explained, Don't argue. What happened here? We can see it through the spirit eye. A black-robed man said, Fighting in the palace. You will be imprisoned for 3 years. Two seniors, I am just defending myself. Qin Yun said quickly, With your strength, you can escape and don't need to fight back. a big man said with a cold face. If you run away, don't do any counterattack, don't fight, then you will have nothing to do. Qin Yun glanced at the elders of the family forces and cursed a few words in his heart. Even Chu Binyu did not dare to confront the Lawkeeper Hall and could only watch Qin Yun being taken away. Everyone sighed. Qin Yun had been burned at the stake for 7 days. Originally, he was fine, but he had violated the sect's rules and was imprisoned for 3 years. Being locked up for 3 years was equivalent to wasting 3 years of time. Qin Yun, a few Spirit Martial Realm family disciples, and more than a dozen 9th-level Martial Dao disciples were taken to a dungeon. Everyone had their own cage. Opposite Qin Yun was the prison cell of the 2 family clan disciples. The cell was very narrow. It was a narrow square room that was only 2 meters wide. A special iron fence was the cell door, allowing people to clearly see the situation inside. You're really willing to sacrifice a few disciples to keep me locked up for 3 years? Qin Yun looked at the azure-clothed man opposite him and said with a sneer, You are all at the Spirit Martial Realm. You have been locked up for 3 years and have missed a lot of time. Is it worth it? Qin Yun, after we leave, the clan will compensate us. But you're different. Who will make it up to you? The Saber Sword Villa behind you? Qin Yun said with sneer, I don't need others to compensate me. I can also cultivate here. With just your spirit vein, you can absorb the spiritual energy from above. What a joke. The azure-clothed man sneered. Qin Yun, wasting 3 years of your time can make you miss the martial arts tournament. You don't know how powerful this martial arts tournament is. It is the grandest martial arts competition in the Proud Star State. It will gather many outstanding Spirit Martial Realm and 9th-level Martial Dao to compete. Once you get a good ranking, you can obtain a Divine Ability Inheritance or a Tier martial art. This is the responsibility of the Divine Inscription Palace. You must not participate. When Qin Yun heard the words of the 2 disciples, he became even more furious. It should not be difficult for him to escape from this cage. He was afraid that after he escaped, he would not be able to enter the Immortal Weapon City again. He could only blame his bad luck for encountering such a thing. Qin Yun, who was in prison, was not idle. He took out a saber and practiced the common saber technique in a narrow place. He wanted to spend 3 years here, so he planned to practice the common saber technique and master the essence of the common saber technique. For Qin Yun, 3 years is still relatively long. His original plan has also been disrupted. What he can do now is to stabilize his foundation so that when he breaks through to the Spirit Martial Realm, it will be more smooth. After Qin Yun was imprisoned for 2 or 3 days, everyone in the Immortal Weapon City knew about it. The people of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain originally wanted to find trouble with Qin Yun. However, after learning about this, they could only wait for 3 years before going. The martial arts tournament will also be held in 10 months. Qin Yun did not have time to participate in the martial arts tournament, which made many people relieved, because with Qin Yun's strength, he can dominate the 9th-level Martial Dao realm. Many sects and families do not want a monster like Qin Yun to participate. Today, in front of the gate of the Immortal Weapon Palace, the spacious square is very lively, because today is a very special day. Legend has it that a long time ago, a sect master of the Immortal Weapon City, because his disciple lost to his junior brother's disciple, he also resigned from the position of sect master and let his junior brother take over. However, he was very dissatisfied, so every 1,000 years he would come back. And he brought a few outstanding young disciples that he had cultivated to challenge the young disciples of the Immortal Weapon City. It is said that in addition to the martial arts competition, there will also be an inscription competition. The Immortal Weapon City will fight every time and they will win. Because once the Immortal Weapon City loses, they have to hand over the mysterious immortal tool of the Immortal Weapon City to the sect master. Now, the former sect master very punctually brought his disciples to the entrance of the Immortal Weapon Palace. As long as the elders are familiar with the Immortal Weapon City, they're very clear about this matter. Therefore, every time at this time, They will also come here in advance to watch the battle. In this way, they can also see the level of the disciples of the Immortal Weapon City. At the entrance of the Immortal Weapon Palace, there are several old men in black robes. Everyone knows that in the Immortal Weapon Palace, the old men in black robes are from the Lawkeeper Hall. However, Lu Jingming is an exception. She is wearing a simple white dress and hiding behind an old lady with some shyness. Because around this huge square, there are many people watching. Here, most of them are strangers that Lu Jingming is not familiar with. Lu Jingming is just afraid of strangers. In the Immortal Weapon Palace, she often sees her fellow brothers and sisters. After a long time, she is not afraid. Many of the new young generation also saw the former sect master of the Immortal Weapon City. It is a burly old man, wearing a coarse gray robe, gray disheveled hair, fluttering in the wind. His deep old eyes projected a sharp light as he stared at Lu Jingming. He looked at Lu Jingming with a smile on his face and said, "This is the talented Lu Jingming? By the way, why didn't your sect master come out?" "The sect master is in seclusion. It is not convenient to come out. Ing Qingyu, another 1,000 years have passed. I didn't expect you to still be alive." The old lady smiled. "I can't die if I don't win you once." Ing Qingyu's hearty laughter echoed in the air, full of energy, faintly revealing a very fierce power. "It's a pity that I can't see your sect master. I really want to see his expression when he loses." Ing Qingyu laughed. "It doesn't matter if he doesn't come. As long as I win, you give me that immortal tool." "Ing Qingyu, there is one thing to tell you. Our old sect master is dead. The current new sect master doesn't like to participate in this matter, so he went into seclusion in advance." The old lady's words caused an uproar among the people present. Among the people who came to watch the battle today, there are also people from other immortal sects or Star Palace. They're all old guys, and they are very familiar with the old sect master of Immortal Weapon City. Chapter 571. 571 Chapter 571 Granny Meng Qingyu took out some materials and said, "The first game is to compete in talisman making. The talisman paper is refined from animal skin, and the production is Xian Thunder Talisman. After the production, use the Thunder Storage Pearl to absorb the energy of the Thunder Talisman and then weigh it. You can know who produced a high-grade Thunder Talisman. 3 games, best of 3. Ing Qingyu smiled confidently. "This time we will win." The apprentice behind him is not only confident, but also full of cold arrogance. The instruments used in the competition are uniform. Lu Jingming saw the tools of talisman making and did not seem to be nervous. 2 hours of time. Ing Qingyu said, "Immortal Weapon City also has no opinion. They just check the various instruments to prevent the other party from cheating." The competition began. As soon as Lu Jingming entered the state, she became very serious and not affected by the outside world. This state also made Ing Qingyu nod in praise. The old sect master died. Why is it so mysterious? Is it because the new sect master is too weak and worried that others will retaliate? Ing Qingyu looked at the black-robed people and asked. "No," the black-robed old granny said. "If your new sect master is not good, I can go back and take over." Ing Qingyu laughed. "With my current strength, I am definitely in the top 3 of the 5 great immortal sects." "Don't bother you," a black-robed old man said solemnly. "Whatever you want. Anyway, Immortal Weapon City should be dying soon." Ing Qingyu laughed. "The disciple you sent this time is only a little girl. If it was before, there would be several. Meng Meng alone can beat your 3 apprentices." The old granny said very confidently. "Don't be so absolute." Ing Qingyu laughed. "My 3 apprentices are only 30 years old, and they are spirit martial realm, and they are all Xian inscription master level." After the tens of thousands of people in the square heard this, there was a sudden commotion full of shock. Spirit martial realm Xian inscription master around 30 years old is indeed very rare. It is no wonder that Ing Qingyu is so confident. Soon, for hours had passed. Lu Jingming completed it ahead of time. The violent thunder Xian talisman that she refined is extremely powerful. After throwing it out, a large electric snake was shot out and poured into a thunder storage pearl. Although the violent thunder Xian talisman refined by Ying Qingyu's apprentice is also very strong, it does not look as powerful as Lu Jingming's. Finally, he weighed the 2 lightning-storing pearls. Lu Jingming's thunder accumulation bead was half a kilogram heavier than her opponent's. It could be said that she was in the lead. Ying Qingyu lost. His face is a bit ugly, but in order to ensure fairness, he also let Lu Jingming rest. And then the second game. I have to say, this little girl is really amazing. She's not even 20 years old, but she already has this level of skill. Many old Xian inscription masters are not even as good as her. I guess they are very ashamed. Ying Qingyu sighed. Mu Feng, West Wind Baldi, and Chu Binyu were also watching. They all felt that they were not as good as Lu Jingming. It's nothing. Talents are coming out in large numbers. This is a good thing for our inscription palace. Mu Feng did not mind at all. He said with a smile, a young and promising Xian inscription master like him is the gospel of the inscription world. Many of the old Xian inscription masters present also agreed with what Mu Feng said. Ying Qingyu snorted. After Lu Jingming rested, the second game began. This second game is about refining tools. Refining a low-grade Xian tool. They all refine a saber and then use a tool to test the strength of the blade. If the strength is high enough, they will be the winner. It takes a long time to refine a Xian tool. It takes more than half a day. For some of the more general Xian inscription masters, it takes more than half a day to refine a Xian saber. It can't be used at all. It's not even as good as a royal grade spirit tool. Refining this kind of thing is not something that can be rushed. However, for some genius Xian inscription masters, in a very short period of time, they can also refine a very good Xian tool. The competition went on until late at night, and it was almost over. Under the control of several old men, several large luminous stones floated in the air, illuminating the square. The onlookers are also waiting patiently. They all want to see if Immortal Weapon City will lose their most precious immortal tool in the end. Time is up. Lu Jingming and Ying Qingyu's disciple can successfully complete. Then began to test the strength. Through the instrument test, Lu Jingming refined a saber. The strength is 18. And Ying Qingyu's disciple refined a saber. The strength is 19. Haha, we won a game. As long as we can win the next game, Immortal Weapon City will lose to me. Ying Qingyu is very happy and laughed. It seems that the final victory is in front of him. Lu Jingming lost the competition by a small gap. She is very guilty and lowered her head, not daring to look at the black-robed old lady behind her. Ming, don't worry. Just win the next game. Your totem rune carving is also very good. You will definitely win. Although the old lady said so, she is also a little anxious. If Lu Jingming still loses, then their most powerful immortal tool will be handed over to Ying Qingyu. Granny Ma, can you let Qin Gongzi come out for the last game? His totem rune carving is very good. He will definitely win. Lu Jingming whispered. Next to her, Chu Binyu also saw the opportunity and quickly walked over and said, Granny Ma, Qin Yin defeated Long Yuedao when he was carving totem rune. This is an indisputable fact, and the precision of his totem rune carving is extremely high. Ying Qingyu quickly said, We are not competing on the precision of the totem rune, but to carve the totem rune on the puppet and then let the two puppets fight. Only when the puppets win can they win. Granny Ma, Qin Yin has mastered the golden ape totem. It is very suitable to make a puppet. Chu Binyu said again. At this time, the bald old man also came over and said, Granny Ma, Ming is my granddaughter, and I often guide her on inscription knowledge, so I'm very clear that she is far inferior to Qin Yin in totem rune. Ying Qingyu is obviously prepared. With Ming's level, I am afraid it will be difficult to win. The bald old man is also because of Qin Yin, so he can open a branch in the northern district, let him get a lot of benefits. Naturally, he wants to help Qin Yin. Well, I'll go find him now. In order to win, Granny Ma can only make an exception and let Qin Yun leave the cage. Qin Yun in the cage very diligently practiced chopping saber. Those are the moves of the common saber technique. Qin Yun, are you annoying? Practicing this kind of three-legged cat saber technique all day long. Yes, what is the use of this broken saber technique? It is full of flaws. Stop. I'm getting annoyed just looking at you. The disciples of the various families scolded loudly. Qin Yun ignored them. He continued to practice the various saber techniques of the common saber technique. At this time, Granny Ma came in with a few people. Seeing Granny Ma, everyone got up and slightly bowed their heads to salute. Granny Ma is here. She is one of the 5 great protectors of the Lawkeeper Hall, Vermilion Bird Protector. An old man whispered to Qin Yun. Qin Yun quickly put away his saber and looked at Granny Ma. Granny Ma came to Qin Yun with a cold face and said, Qin Yun, there's one thing I need you to do. If you complete it well, I will reduce your sentence by 1 year. What is it? Qin Yun was happy and quickly asked, Tell me first. After others heard it, they couldn't believe it. This kind of reduction of sentence in the Lawkeeper Hall had never happened before. The punishment of the Lawkeeper Hall has always been ruthless and merciless. 3 years of detention will not be reduced in any case. And now, in order to get Qin Yun's help, she can actually reduce her sentence by 1 year. The family disciples were all shocked and looked at Granny Ma. Our immortal weapon city is facing a competition, and we need a master who can carve totem runes. If you can win, you can reduce your sentence by 1 year. Granny Ma's voice was cold and ruthless. Oh, Qin Yun said lightly. What do you mean? Do you agree or not? Granny Ma was slightly angry. If I win, you will let me go and I will promise you. Qin Yun said. A disciple of the Long family in the cage shouted, Qin Yun, you have to respect the Vermilion Bird Protector. Giving you a 1-year exemption is already unprecedented. Qin Yun said with a smile. It turned out to be an exception to reduce my sentence? Forget it. Let me continue to be imprisoned for 3 years. Don't break the rules of the Lawkeeper Hall. The inhumane Lawkeeper Hall, in order to invite Qin Yun out to compete, made an exception to reduce the sentence. It is obviously a very important competition. Qin Yun knew that if he lost the competition, it would be a great loss to the immortal weapon city. Now that the Lawkeeper Hall is asking him for help, it is too stingy to reduce the sentence by 1 year. If you win, reduce the sentence by 2 years. Granny Ma endured her anger and said again. Qin Yun sat on the ground and did not speak. He said with a smile, Although this cage is a little small, I feel very comfortable. I have met many enemies outside, and it seems good to hide here for 3 years. Qin Yun, you have made a mistake. Our Lawkeeper Hall must punish you appropriately. If we do nothing, then where is the dignity of our Lawkeeper Hall? Granny Ma said with a cold face. The family disciples originally wanted to say a few words, but when they saw how terrible Granny Ma was, they did not dare to say anything. They just looked at Qin Yun with schadenfreude. The people in this dungeon also felt that Qin Yun was finished. He dared to provoke Granny Ma. Yes, no one is an exception, so I'm willing to go to prison for 3 years. Qin Yun said with a smile. Granny Ma, you still have to find someone else. Granny Ma did not expect that Qin Yun would actually bargain with her. You know, it is very rare for the Lawkeeper Hall to make such a concession and reduce the sentence by 2 years. What do you want? Reduce the sentence by 3 years? Granny Ma said coldly. I didn't say to reduce the sentence by 3 years. Qin Yun spread his hands. I really don't want to break the rules of the Lawkeeper Hall, so you don't need to make an exception for me. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.